Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You already know what it is. What's good, Knicks Nation? We are coming in off a win of the New York Knicks beating the Atlanta Hawks in Game 1. So let's get right into it. Game 1 of the first round series between the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks at Madison Square Garden. And we heard all the chatter this week. We heard who's the best Jalen in here? Oh, you should be watching out for the Hawks. Jalen Brunson took note of that. The rest of the New York Knicks took note of that. And we saw that in the first quarter. Jalen Brunson dropping 19 points. That man was fired up. But hey, the Hawks decided to make this game very interesting in the first half. You know, you even had an Onyeka Okongwu, halftime shot where made this game a little close. But as the third quarter began, the New York Knicks decided to do what they do best and lock in and work through Karl-Anthony Towns and get this thing rolling, man. Of course, you had OG Anunoby, who had, a little crazy spill in that third quarter while playing aggressive. But between the aggression of Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Jalen Brunson, hey, you got to give credit to Mikal Bridges as well as Jordan Clarkson. These guys were doing the damn thing. And then the fourth quarter came around. Duck hunt season. Duck hunt season. If any of you are on that old NES system, you already know what I mean, man. Duck hunt season. We're dropping them all off one by one. It's done. It's over, okay? Knicks get the win tonight in convincing fashion. 113-102. So we ride on to next one, man. On to Monday at 8 p.m. We'll be back at Madison Square Garden. We're going to go up 2-0 in this series. All right? So what's the Knicks Nation, man? Thank you all for tuning for another KFTV post-game live. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. With me on the other side is my guy Omar. CP's on the way from Slate, so make sure to stay tapped in, locked in, share the show, share the link, so that way everyone can join in this celebration of winning Game 1. All right, let's make KFTV feel like we're outside Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? All right, people. Welcome. Omar, how you feeling, man? How you doing today?
I'm feeling great, Alex. One down, 15 to go. Let's get it. It was a great win for us, and we handled them after a rough first half, or a close first half, I guess. And
Yeah.
on to the next one at the Garden.
Yeah, man. On to the next one at the Garden. And I thought it was a good game, man. And from the jump, I mean, before we get into like player of the game and role player of the game tonight, just the way that it started. I mean, with Jalen Brunson going out there dropping 19 points, he was setting the tone. We know what they wanted to do. They wanted to put Dyson Daniels on him, try to slow him down from getting to all of his spots. But, Knicks did a good job using Towns, using that two-man game, even with Josh Hart, to getting either Jalen Johnson to kill Alexander Walker, whoever it may be, just to let Jalen Brunson get into his bag. And they constantly just made that defense work extra hard. And in that first quarter, Brunson just got into his bag, man, and just got this thing rolling. Because look, in that first quarter, you could tell that these guys were a little uneven, man. I mean, it
Right.
felt like they were just like a week off, forgot how to play. I mean, the turnovers. I mean, that was really what was allowing the Hawks to stay in this thing in the first half. But shout out to Jalen Brunson, man, for letting this thing go.
Yeah, and Cat, they did a lot of this initiation with him in the first half, where they were trying to get on these back cuts, easy looks at the basket. And the idea was good, but sometimes the execution not so good. 4 turnovers by him in the first half, but they turned it around after in the second half and never looked back. Which again, to your point, the fact that they started off a little slow, a week off, just had to get the legs back a little bit. But once they got going, it was no looking back, and they were making shots and getting stops, more importantly. And yeah, they just kind of went into cruise control. A little bit of a scare at the end there, right, Alex? 11-0 run by the Hawks. Where they're just jacking up these threes, but they showed that they were the veteran team and didn't panic. And I won't lie though, it's I think it's Knicks PTSD when that stuff starts to happen. You're like, here we go, what's about to happen here? But yeah, they executed, they stayed calm, and they showed who the more experienced team was tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, a little bit of a scare. I mean, the Hawks played well, man. Like for the first half, the way they closed, like it's not saying that the Knicks should go out there and just like they should feel confident, they should feel proud after this win. They should go into the next game with a lot of confidence. but you still got to be on your P's and Q's because look, this was not a clean game. This was not a perfect game by any means from the New York Knicks. I mean, we could just look at some of these costly turnovers that they had, allowing the Hawks to get back in transition and to put up threes above the break. You know, I talked about this with my guy Bryce, who covers the Hawks for Believe in Hawks for the Believe Network podcast network, and I said, look, according to Clean the Glass, Knicks are really good. They're actually really good when it comes to guarding the corner three. Where they struggle is above the break. So when it comes to the Hawks, that's where they thrive. And especially when they get out in transition, you're all frantic on the defensive end. You don't know who to cover, as we saw today too. That's how the Hawks were able to shoot so well from downtown. You saw that from McCollum. You saw that from Jalen Johnson. You saw that from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You saw it from all those guys, man. And the Knicks got to clean that up. The turnovers and the perimeter defense. Perimeter defense and the turnovers. Those are the two big things they got to do, man. As well as some communication on the pick and roll, but far from a perfect game whatsoever. But and that's what I'm saying. Like, they can go into this next game. Sorry, I'm belaboring the point. They can go into this next game proud, but there's still a lot of stuff they got to work on for the next one to make it a little bit cleaner because they left a little too much out there, man, that they could have taken advantage of.
Yeah, rebounding too at times. It felt like Atlanta got a lot of second chance opportunities that kind of kept them in the game. With I think Jalen Johnson, two of his threes in the second half came off of second chance opportunity, and I think Mitch didn't have one offensive rebound in the whole game, if I'm not mistaken, in his minutes. So that's something to clean up as well. Like I said, not a perfect game, but they executed when they needed to execute and made shots when they had to make shots, and that's you just got to win the game, right? It doesn't have
That's
to
all
be
that
pretty,
matters.
right? Yeah, so it just get to the finish line, and I do want to kind of shout out the Josh Hart minutes tonight. He was just kind of all over the place. It doesn't look awesome on the stat sheet, right? You look like, oh, he had, whatever points, but he was just making hustle plays. He made a lot of good defensive plays on Jalen Johnson. Johnson still got his points. He's a great player, but Hart was really making it tough for him at times. Was, as always, rebounding the ball well. So I think when the postseason rolls around, you expect Josh Hart to kind of go up a couple levels, and he definitely did that tonight.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And we'll get into the whole Josh Hart guarding
Mhm.
Jalen Johnson. I talked about that in my preview as well. I knew that was going to happen based on what they did in the
Yeah,
final matchup. But there, obviously it's not going to be 100% Josh Hart. They had OG and McCall, depending on the
for
switches
sure.
and all that type of stuff. But I do want to get into that because I want to get everyone's thoughts and opinions on seeing Josh Hart on Jalen Johnson to start this game. But hey, so the Knicks Nation, thank you all for tuning in for another post game live where the Knicks win 113 to 102. Let's get into our player of the game, Omar, and that will be none other than the captain himself, Jalen Brunson. Like I said, Jalen Brunson was just a dog, especially in that first quarter. 19 points. I mean, there was a stretch where he went 5 for 5 in that first quarter. Cooled off a bit as the game wore on, but as he was not shooting necessarily well from the field in the later quarters, what he did do well was get to the line and slow the game down and make sure that he put himself in position to just put the Knicks out in front and get points where easy points could be had. So he went to the line 8 times, went 7 to 8 from the field. I thought his passing was solid tonight. Got the 7 assists, got you 5 boards too, all with only 2 turnovers tonight. He did all that in his 36 minutes. I thought Brunson was just fantastic tonight. And just when you're looking for who's going to close games, which has been a whole big talking point, as why the Hawks could be in this and do this, and why they could actually upset the New York Knicks. And look, I know the series is not over, but I just find it crazy how it's like everyone just goes and looks at the Men in Black pen. Everyone erases what we've seen from prior history, forgets what Jalen Brunson could do. And when this man is needed and when the number is called, because look, even in that first quarter, there were times where things were slowing down and you needed answers. And Jalen Brunson was giving you answers. So Jalen Brunson is the player of the game tonight, man. As I said, he got you 28 points, 9 to 22 from the field. Not necessarily the most efficient, but he got the job done. 3 of 4 from downtown, 7 to 8 from the free throw line, 5 boards, man, for the captain, 7 assists, and then 2 turnovers and 1 steal. I thought he had a fantastic night.
Yeah, at the beginning of this series, my big thought was the Knicks know who their closer is, right? And it's JB, obviously, and the Hawks don't know who theirs is. Could it be Jalen Johnson? Could it be McCollum? And that kind of showed itself throughout this game. But that first quarter, he made his first few shots. I was like, oh, he's got it going tonight, and we talked about people going up a level. Jalen goes up infinite levels, when it comes to the postseason. And like I said, people seem to forget. They're like, all week long, I was listening to like national podcasts. Like, I don't know if there's any team that should be on upset alert. It's the Knicks, and I think the Hawks could really present some length issues. And to start off, they kind of had him operating a little bit off ball more than we have seen in the past, and he was still able to get to his spots, get his shots because he's an operator, man. He just knows his spots. He knows how to get to them, and it come postseason time, he's just on another level, and he showed it tonight, especially in the first quarter. Just bucket after bucket after bucket, and they just like, this is who he is. This is what he does.
It is who he is, and this is exactly what he does. And that is our player of the game, Jalen Brunson. My God, man, that's hell of a performance by him, man. Hell of a performance.
Absolutely.
He could obviously be better, man. We know that. Game one, he got the job done. But damn, man, just the way that he went about it in that first quarter, I was like, whew. I thought there was about to be a 50 burger night for this man. I thought it was about to be a
Yeah,
50
it
burger
really
by the
felt
way
that
he
way,
was
right?
starting. Yeah, it really
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
But we'll see, man. Now look, it's only game one, man. Only
Yeah,
game one.
for sure.
But
Long
let's
series,
get
long series.
long series. Or maybe not. We'll see, man. The way after
We'll
this
see.
one
Yeah.
goes, we'll see how it goes. I said in 5. Let's see how it goes, man.
Mhm.
All right, let's get to our role player of the game, okay? And I want to hear where you want to go with this, Omar. I feel like there's many options for the role player of the game tonight. But I'm gonna go with the guy who started off slow and had a very monstrous finish, and that is one Carl Anthony Towns as the role player of the game tonight. Look, this man, like when it started, he had some good passes, some crazy turnovers, some
Yeah.
miscues on defense. It was looking all over the place for this man in the first half, okay? Looking all over the place. But he settled in, especially in that third and fourth quarter. That's where he really settled in and started getting going. And when I look at Karl Anthony Towns tonight, man, you want to talk about punishing the Hawks for not having a true center, a legitimate center.
Mhm.
That's what he did as soon as he got opportunities, man. Like I said, he was all over the place, but he got back on track. And whenever he saw Onyeka Okongwu out there, when he saw who was it, Guy
Mo
out
Gay.
there,
Yeah. Mhm.
Gay. Sorry. Whenever he saw Gay out there, look, it was just food, especially with Gay. They took him out because he got 5
Mhm.
fouls in the third quarter. Like, all right, man, we can't keep going with this.
Right.
So he was just making everybody work 10 times as hard just to cover. And once he got in that rhythm, we saw he played he played the game what we were all asking for the entire season. What I felt like, Omar, because not only did
Mhm.
you get the drives, not only did you get the post work, you got the threes. He was getting you the boards. Okay, he would even when the game slowed down, like I said for Brunson, and you just needed points. He was muscling his way in the paint just to get to the free throw line as well. I mean, when I thought he had the easy putback and it pops right back off after hitting the back iron, and then he gets it, and then you see 3 defenders trying to just swarming him, trying to prevent him from getting a shot. He's able to draw the foul and gets to the free throw line. So hell of a performance by Towns. And look, I've been talking about this since the All-Star break because he's really dialed it up, man. The defense was also there tonight.
Mhm.
I thought the defense, he cleaned that up too because it was all over the place. He cleaned that up as well. I mean, how about knocking the off of McCollum's leg going out of bounds, man? Just getting pivotal moments. Blocks on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, his former teammate. He got 2 on them. So, look, I thought Towns truly pulled through in the end, man. When you're talking about having a 1-2 punch, you had Brunson who started off. You had Towns that really finished it, man. And so, hell of a performance by Karl Anthony Towns. He finished today's game playing 33 minutes with 25 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from downtown, 10 of 10, a perfect 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 8 boards, 4 assists. Can clean up on the turnovers, but we'll give that
Mhm.
we'll look over that, man, because we got the steal, we got the blocks. All right, my man was just out there working. So kudos for Karl Anthony Towns for being the role player of the game in my eyes tonight.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, the defense was much improved over the last course of the regular season. He showed that tonight. He's been engaged defensively and perfect at the line, like you mentioned, 10 of 10. That's huge as well, especially for a team that has a little bit of a propensity to be a little flaky at the line at times. Having a guy like this get there 10 times and still make every single one is huge. I mentioned it before. For me, I love the cat mention, but for me, it was will give an additional nod to Josh Hart here because I just feel like intangible energy stuff, rebounding, getting the break going. He was there doing that. A big part of the Knicks' defensive efforts, especially as they clamped down in the fourth quarter, for where the Hawks started to struggle shooting the ball. So Love the cat mention. That's probably the answer, but I just want to give a little bit of a additional shout out as a role player of the game B to Josh Hart, just because he just brought that intensity and really set the tone for the Knicks on all the effort plays and all that throughout the night.
Yeah, Josh is not a bad choice either. Josh was just truly out there causing havoc, man. Absolutely
Oh, for
causing
sure.
havoc tonight. Another guy who was like, yeah, he had some moments in the first quarter, but I thought for what he did tonight, man, you want to talk about why I say I'll say for myself, I'll talk about for myself. Why I say do not take him out of the starting five is because of these intangibles, man. I mean, led the team with 14 rebounds tonight, all of them being defensive boards. 14 rebounds and then going out and attacking in transition, finishing through contact. And, they always say, hey, you're going to put the center on Josh Hart. You're going to put the center on Josh
Mhm.
Hart. Well, can't do that in this matchup because if you do that, then Towns is really going to have a field day. So then
Right.
on top of that, they put Nickeil Alexander-Walker on him. And what is Nickeil Alexander-Walker doing? He's guarding him at the perimeter. So that whole 5-out spacing that you're talking about, you're still getting that because this man's been shooting 40% from downtown. Okay,
Yeah.
so he only took one tonight, but still efficient for what he needed to do, man. I mean, the 14 boards was just instrumental. So good stuff by Josh Hart, man. He did everything that you needed to do tonight. I feel like there's other guys, man, like that we could talk about as well. I mean, OG could be another guy that you could say, hey,
Yeah.
gave you that role player of the game as well. Just because you think about defensively what he's doing out there, got a steal tonight. You think about offensively, just finishing through contact, just trying to just being that release valve too, like getting out in
Mhm.
transition again, easy open dunks. He's another guy that I felt like could have been a role player of the game tonight too.
Yeah, I agree, and a little bit of a scary fall for him with the ankle. So hopefully he's all right there. Doesn't swell up too much for game two. But yeah, again with OG, he makes plays on defense. He gets out in transition. He hits the corner threes. He does everything you want him to do in a modern day wing, and he was doing that. He had what, it was 18 points tonight, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. So he was making an impact. He was getting it done as well. So all around effort here. Throughout the starting lineup. Even Kale Bridges put up 9 shots, so we got that going for us. So shout out,
Yeah.
shout out to him as well.
Shout out to Mikal Bridges as well, man. Look, solid overall team effort. I thought that was very great for tonight. Excellent stuff, man. Absolutely excellent stuff by this team in game one just to open up the series. They did their job. They got the first victory in the series. And this is a team that wins a lot at home. They're 30-10 at home, 30 wins, 10 losses. And this is another reason why I wasn't really too concerned because when they're home, they just feel so comfortable, man. They absolutely
For
just feel
sure.
so comfortable. So excellent stuff by the Knicks tonight. So player of the game, obviously Jalen Brunson as we discussed. But let us know who you think the role player of the game is. Is it Karl Anthony Towns? Is it OG Anunoby? Is it Josh Hart? Give us your role player of the game. If you got somebody different, let us know in the chat who you think could have been the role player of the game tonight. Okay. Salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you all for tuning in for another KFTV post game live 113 to 102. The Knicks win tonight. All right, at Madison Square Garden. Everything's going crazy. CP is on the way, so make sure to stay locked in. Okay. And look, we want to hear your takes too. So make sure to call in through the Discord. I want to hear how everyone feels about game one tonight. So make sure to hop into the Discord, okay? Whether it's through the browser, whether it's on your phone, whatever fits your fancy. Make sure to tap in because we want to hear what you guys think tonight. And salute to all the franchise channel members in here. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to all the regulars. I see my guy John Talento in here. I see Hard Jeezy in here. I see Armin Duda in here. I see Janal Torre. Shout out to you guys for being in here as always. Who else we got in here? Do we got Respect Shaq? Oh, I see my guy Son from Brooklyn. Shout out to you, my man. Who else we got in here? Got a few people in here. Who else we got? We got Queen Strong and Proud Fit. Shout out to you, my man. Shout out to you for being a franchise channel member. We got a Freak NY. Let's go, man. Let's go. Shout out to all you for being here. We got some super chats, Omar. So let's read some of these
Let's
super
get it.
chats
Yep.
and get it going. Shout out to everybody for dropping a super chat. We got Pat's Nation with the $5 super chat. Says, how we doing, Knicks family? LFG, let's family show go. Let's get it done this year. Yeah, man. Shout out to Pat's Nation. Oh, you undercover, man? Pat's Nation. What's going on over here, man? You from Boston or you from Connecticut? What's going on here? You
I was
must be
gonna
from
assume it's
Connecticut, man.
Connecticut. Yeah, it's
I'm,
Connecticut.
I'm, I'm assuming that it's a Connecticut where you could be a Patriots fan, a Knicks fan. Are you a Yankees fan or a Red Sox fan? That's all I need to know now. What are you?
Hmm.
Shout out to who else we got here? We got some more super chats. We got CL Kenrick with the $10 super chat says, let's go Knicks. Atlanta Hawks can't hold us. Great win, Brunson and Cat. Let's go. What else we got here? We got Worldwide Knicks with the 10 pounds. We got 10 pounds from Worldwide Knicks says, JB, great first half. Cat, great second half. But I thought Hart was brilliant throughout. His rebounding is insane. Few injury scares, especially a couple in the baby makers. Rest up, everyone. Yeah, man. The injuries tonight, man, were good lord.
Shout
Everyone
out
was
to my
getting
guy
scared.
Alex. That's who Worldwide Knicks is. So good friend of mine. So he's tapping in from Scotland actually, and
Nice.
watching the game. And he said he was going to try and tune in tonight. So yeah, there we go. International representation for KFTV.
There we go, man. Guys tapping in from Scotland. You say his name is Alex?
Yeah, great name,
There we
right?
go, man. Great name, man. Shout out to you, Alex. All right, shout out to you from tapping in from Scotland. We got AP from LI with the $10 super chat as well. He says, let's go. Salute the family. All right, man. We got shout out to super chat from Boom looking for this. All right. Who else we got? Oh, we got Lord Steven Stone. Shout out to you for being a franchise channel member for 28 months. Says, let's go. Big dub. Absolutely, it's a big dub. All right, man. What else we got here? Shout out to M Nukes for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. We got Danikabaka BK2. Oh, Brooklyn to Virginia. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Says, JB's always great. Need to keep Mitchie in more for once. No McCall hate. He was clutch on D. Hot start on offense. Hashtag playoff bridges. Bring on the Celtics. Hey, man, I love the energy, but we got to get through the first series first. Celtics should be there waiting. But let's
Hey,
get
real
through the
quick,
first round first.
Alex, before we move to the next super chat, he mentioned the Mitch stuff. You know, the Hawks went to that Hack-A-Mitch tactic, and
Mhm.
they did it twice, and then Mike Brown was like, "All right, enough of this." What did you make of that?
Look, man, they're going to try to take him out. I think what you got to do is just quell teams. I mean, if you're going to put Mitch in, you got to do it at the beginning of the quarters where if they're going to hack him and they're going to want to force him to get out, put us in the bonus early, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And I'm shocked in tonight's game, speaking about being put into the bonus early, because Knicks put the Hawks into the bonus early. And kudos to the Knicks for playing some really good defense and not allowing them to get to the line that much. I mean, look, Knicks finish with 30 free throw attempts. Hawks only finished with 19. So with some, and I know some of them were questionable calls as well, but still, to have the Hawks in the bonus and they only ended with 19, it's a really good job by the Knicks, man. If you think about it
Yeah, I agree.
defensively, um, just because it could have been a lot more, you could put this game into even closer reach for the Hawks. But to me, that also just says that the Hawks don't have anybody, as the Knicks do, that could play physical and draw the contact to get to the free throw line. Like, I know Johnson and CJ can get to the line, but I'm saying like consistently enough where they want to be at the line, because that is also
Yeah.
taxing.
Yeah, Johnson's just not there yet. That's like a big. I think it's going to be a big focus point in the series that he is an ascending player that's just not there yet. And that's like a next level to his game. So that should be interesting to see how they go on. I mean, CJ's a vet, but I also feel like he probably doesn't want as much contact as one might think he would, just because how long he's been in the league and just not his type of play to do that. So, but that should be something that Johnson focuses on in the offseason, but he's just not that player right now, I don't think.
Yeah, look, man, it's his first time in the postseason.
Yeah,
It
yeah, for
takes
sure.
time for guys to rise, man. And look, this is a very young Hawks team. I think. Look, I'm not going to talk about like how they should feel or whatnot. The series is still
Right.
not over. But look, he's a young player, and this is just the type of experience young players need in order to get better as they play throughout the league. Oh, we got the captain in the chat, CP himself. He says he's 45 minutes or less on his way for
Okay,
post
okay.
game. All right, so you know what we all do around here when CP gives us a time frame, people. It is 9:36, so 9:35. All right, so let's see. We need to have this guy here by 10:20. 10:20 then. All right. CP needs to be here by 10:20 live on camera. Okay, can't be getting in the house at 10:20. So let's see, people. Let's see if CP can get here by 10:20 or less. We'll be impressed. What are you taking, Omar? The over, the under?
I'm gonna go over, man. I just
Oh,
Mhm.
CP. Omar's going on the over. Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, man? You gonna allow this? You gonna allow this?
Listen, man. Anytime you put an ETA, traffic and stuff happens. So I'm not. Nothing against CP. It's just an indictment of traffic. So that's where I'm at with it.
Saving yourself. I see what you're doing there,
Yeah,
Omar. I
yeah,
see
for
what you're
sure,
doing.
for
I
sure,
see what
for
you're
sure.
doing. All right. We got David G saying 11 p.m. Hey man, we'll see what happens.
11 p.m. Man.
Whew. That's a long time, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, looks like we all better get our cups of coffee then. All right, so let's keep it rolling, people. All right. Salute to Knicks Nation once again. Look, let's salute to one of our sponsors for tonight's show, and that is none other than Fabletics. Okay, there's something about throwing on a fresh workout set that just gets you locked in. The problem is new gear adds up really fast. But when I joined Fabletics as a VIP, that all changed. When I signed up, I got 8% off of everything. And I thought it was too good to be true. It's not, though. The quality surprised me. Premium fit, durable, comfortable, the kind of activewear you'd normally pay way more for. The fit is dialed in too. Joggers that keep their shape, jackets that keep you warm without feeling bulky. Perfect for workouts, travel days, or just getting back into your routine. Look, I always tell you guys, I bought two things. I bought the line shorts and I bought the tees, man. Playing basketball, I just played basketball on them today. Makes me feel light, breathable, lightweight. That's what I need, man, when I'm on the court. Just want to feel like, I can move it and just make all the neat movements that I need, man. That's how it needs to be. All right. So look, shout out to Fabletics for getting it done. And Fabletics has already created incredible deals for everybody. And I got exclusive offers for everyone right now. All right. To get 80% off of everything when you sign up, just join as a VIP. So head over to fabletics.com/KFTV, take the style quiz, and be sure to select KFTV when prompted. That's fabletics.com/KFTV. All right. Shout out to Fabletics for being one of our sponsors and for getting y'all suited so that way you can feel good when you get your workout on. Who else we got in here? All right, man. Let's get back to this. All right, so people, I need everyone's thoughts, man, as we're rolling the show. How's everyone feeling about the Jalen Johnson and Josh Hart matchup? And I mean Josh Hart guarding Jalen Johnson. Like I broke this down in the game preview that I did with Bryce, and I think it's been hit or miss throughout the game. I think what they're really just trying to do is to make sure that they put Towns on Dyson, giving him the Hart treatment, honestly. And with that, if you're going to do that, you're going to need your second best guy guarding the center and your second tallest guy, and that's OG's, who's on Onyeka Okongwu. So I think it's been fine. I wouldn't really change it because I like that. I like that because Dyson Daniel is also a good rebounding guard. So I feel like if you keep him away from the perimeter, allow Cat just to sag into the paint, he's not going to want to drive center that's already there. So it'll keep him out of the paint from rebounding, and it'll force him to shoot, which he's not great at. So I'm fine with Josh Hart on Jalen Johnson. It obviously worked tonight. Knicks got the win, but want to know what you think and the rest of the chat. So Omar, what do you think about that move?
No, I liked it. And the thing that was interesting is that they used Dyson Daniels as a little bit of a screener in the corner a couple of times because Cat was kind of committed to guarding the rim. And that freed up CJ and Jalen Johnson for a couple of open looks. But I like the OG on Okongwu matchup. Okongwu got a couple threes in, but ultimately I think that's a matchup that OG can win. And I think Hart made some of his buckets a little tough tonight for Jalen Johnson. I mean, he still got 23, 8 for 19, so not super efficient, but I feel like you just make it hard for him, make him have to be more physical, which Hart is excellent at, and make him earn the points. He had a couple of easy ones early in the game. The Hawks had a couple of uncontested rim attempts real early before the Knicks really settled in. So you got to tighten that up, obviously. But as long as they're communicating, and it seems like they're not switching as much in this game. I'm curious if that's going to be the pattern moving forward. So for Hart, yeah, just physical, stay in his body, and just try to make it as hard as you can for him. And I think they'll stick with it. It was working, so why not?
Yeah, look, I think they should stick with it. As I said, it got you the win ultimately in the end. I don't think I think even I understand wanting to put OG on Jalen Johnson for like your best defensive player guarding like the best offensive player or one of. Definitely one of the better playmakers on the team. But I feel like Josh it can do an admirable enough job. I think what we really just need to see is just them tighten up because early on in that
Yeah.
game, just miscommunication. I mean, what was it like first, second possession of the game?
Mhm.
You see Jalen Johnson just getting a free waltz in for a layup, and it's like, will you go communicate on pick and rolls, guys? Like, this is ain't that hard to do, I guess. But
Right.
but look, I think it's fine. I think it'll work out well.
Mhm.
Um, I think Josh just needs. I think for that one, just leaving Josh on Jalen Johnson. But even with Josh's physicality, that should slow him down too, because Josh is
Yep.
going to be a guy who's going to be a slight aggravator, right? Just a guy who's going to throw his body around a bit, throw you off balance, make you work a little bit harder. So I'm fine with that matchup. But what do the people think in the chat? Let's take a look at what they're seeing. Anyone's thoughts on Josh guarding Jalen Johnson? What are you people thinking right now? Josh got the rebounds though. He did get the rebounds. And Josh did get pickpocketed a few times. It's all good though.
Mhm.
Look, man. Game one. It's all fine. It's all fine. We do have a caller on the line, so let's get to our first caller, Omar. All right,
Yep.
while we keep moving through the show. We got Rob on the line. Rob, what's going on, man? Unmute your mic. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, great game. Brunson really came out, set the tone. I know you said that, Cat was the main role player. Like to think that he, showed himself as a 1B tonight, which is what we really want to see. Hart, was everywhere tonight, doing the intangibles like he always does, running the break. I do think, a little thing that goes unnoticed about Mikhail is that I don't really think a lot of guys scored on him tonight. I think Alexander Walker was kind of absent for most of the game. So
Mm-hmm.
credit to him there. And then OG really, getting to the line with that second unit. So I thought it was a great showing for the starting five. And, good to see Deuce as well, get back into a little bit of a rhythm. He was struggling out the gate, but I think he really allowed us to break away, in the beginning of that fourth quarter. So great game all around.
Absolutely great game. And that's a great point about Mikhail guarding
Yep.
Alexander Walker. Went 6 to 17 from the field tonight. So not a great shooting night for
Mhm.
him, especially this is a guy who dropped 30, it was like 32 to 38 some odd points on us just like
Yep.
not too long ago. So for him, definitely an excellent job. What do you think about seeing Josh Hart guard Jalen Johnson? You okay with that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh is gritty. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of a size gap. Um, I like to see, maybe does Mike Brown throw OG at him to get a different look? Maybe, he's now seen Josh for 2 games. So, I think OG's next up for that matchup, but I think Josh did a good job. I think we kind of gained up defensively pretty well on Jalen Johnson, but,
Mm-hmm.
he's a good player. So, yeah, I think, like he's an ascending player. He's only going to get better. But for right now, I think Josh is a good enough answer, but I would like to see, maybe an OG look as well.
Yeah, definitely a good enough answer as of right now. Appreciate the call, Rob. Appreciate you for always tapping in.
Of course.
All right, that was Rob on the Discord. Appreciate Rob for coming through. All right.
Thing about Rob's point, Alex, he mentioned something about Mikhail just kind of flying a little bit under the radar, not a lot of offensive output. That feels like the Mikhail Bridges experience in a nutshell. It's just like everybody wants like these big numbers from him, but a lot of times just being sound defensively, taking the shots when they're there. He had a couple of good looks tonight, and so that's just kind of a funny thing to me about the Mikhail experience, because a lot of people just get really on it because the numbers aren't where they think they should be, which goes back to the whole cost of acquisition, right? But he in the postseason, he showed it last year. He's showing it tonight that he can D up guys, and you saw Alexander Walker had a rough night. And Bear is mentioning against the Knicks in the 3 matchups in the regular season, he was averaging 28 a game on 45% shooting from three. So he has had success against his team. So that's not a small feat to hold him to a rough shooting night.
Yeah, absolutely. Small feat to hold for a rough shooting night. And look, excellent. Like I thought Mikhail was actually good in the first quarter too. Like he was handling his business. I mean, he went what
Yeah.
3 or 4, got 7 points, knocking down threes, getting to his mid range. Look, he was the first guy to put up points in this matchup. And look, for being a fourth option, even though I'm a guy who can just like, have my critiques about Bridges, I got to give it for somebody who's being the fourth option, who was probably looking at to be the third option when he joined this team, and for him to just in these moments accept that role and be utilized when necessary. I get the whole cost and the whole value for him. Gotta give him mad respect for that. Gotta give him mad respect to that. Look, let's talk about another guy, man, because I thought Jordan Clarkson was actually phenomenal tonight in his limited minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, he played 11 minutes, but the 8 points that he got, I thought that was so instrumental. And look, I know he's gotten a lot of flack. He was benched throughout this regular season, but he came back in, man, and gave you that energy that you need. 4 or 6 from the field. Guy got to the cup with ease, absolute ease. Even gave Mitchell Robinson the lob tonight. All right, I thought Jordan Clarkson was so instrumental in this win as well, especially for that second unit win. You're giving Brunson time to relax, and he comes in here and gets to do the same thing.
Yeah, and that's a big thing because both Cat and Brunson were on the bench when he was getting a big chunk of those minutes, and he's the engine when that happens. And that is something that's so underrated and probably a big reason why they signed him in the offseason. It's like, all right, when we got our two big offensive engines on the bench, how do we counterpunch that in the postseason? And this is a guy who throughout his career we've seen an instant offense, and even when the shots aren't going, he can still play make at times. He has a really good chemistry with Mitch. It seems like on the lobs. I feel like
Mhm.
as he's gotten back in the rotation, we've seen more of those, which is great for the offense, but also great for Mitch's psyche because a lot of times he gets a little frustrated at a lack of touches and stuff because he has to do all this dirty work and isn't rewarded for it. Whereas it seems like Clarkson's often looking for him and kind of feeding him down low for some easy dunk attempts. So yeah, that's going to be huge for them on this run. I think is getting good solid minutes. It's not, you said, not a lot of minutes, 11 minutes, but they were impactful, valuable 11 minutes, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Brown continuing to lean on him at times as this series goes on.
Not at all, man. Not at all. And just because, like, look, I gotta even give credit for the defense. I know there was moments where he was a little overzealous and just
Yeah.
like getting some, some once again questionable foul calls by these refs, man. It is what it is. I won't go that direction. But still, I like the defense. I like the effort that he's giving out there, man. I mean, for 11 minutes to get 8 points off the bench, that is super efficient. Okay.
Mhm.
And then with the playmaking as well, I thought he's giving you a lot of grit out there. And I look when you get a game like that from Clarkson, Jalen Brunson doesn't have to go out there and go be taxed for 40 some odd minutes. So Clarkson, keep doing it, man. And this, I just love how he's reinvented himself, man. I love how maybe now people will not have to at him, and then he won't have to respond to quote tweet people or go into the comment section. You good, Clarkson? You good, man? Don't worry. I'm expecting you to give the pose for another defensive player of the game, man. So you all good, man.
Nice.
You all good. Let's
Get
get
that
to some
man the
more calls.
Tims. Yeah.
Yeah, get the Tims right. Let's get some more calls, Omar. We got some more
Do it.
callers in here. We got Yeet. We got Yeet on the line. Yeet, what's going on?
Hey Alex, how you doing? This is my first time ever calling in.
Oh,
Um,
salute to you for calling in. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
my name's Frank. I'm calling from Pennsylvania. I'm originally from Syracuse, New York, though.
Okay,
Nice.
all right, nice. Nice to meet you, Frank. How you feeling, man? How you feel about this game?
Oh man, I was a little worried in the first half, because everything was, we were missing shots and everything. Jalen Brunson was really the only one going. Mitch, he got out there and he did some things, but then, he got put right back to the bench and it was just worrisome. Deuce was missing a lot of shots. He wasn't looking too hot other than on the defense. Um, but the second half came around and I think everything went really great other than that little stretch in the fourth quarter there where they went on an 11-0 run. Other than that though, I'm out the window with this team. I'm
You
I'm
out the
running
window,
down.
so your confidence is through the roof right now. Then
Oh, absolutely.
you think what are you predicting for this series right now, Frank? How many games are the Knicks winning?
For me personally, I think we can do it in 4, but
Mm.
realistically, I
Ooh.
think I'll give it 5.
Okay, so
Frank
you're
want
gonna
to
be
bring out the
kind. You're gonna be
broom.
kind to the Hawks, but you think they could do it in 4? Hey, man, I wouldn't be surprised if they did in 4.
Absolutely.
Hey, I would like to see it, man. I'd like to see the Knicks do it in 4. That'd be great. Appreciate you for tapping in, Frank. Appreciate you for coming through.
All right, thank you, Alex.
No problem, man. Feel free to call back anytime. So we got Frank. Frank from Pennsylvania, originally from Syracuse, man. The other orange and blue teams out there, man. Syracuse University. Shout out to those guys. Look, if the Knicks can do this in 4, that'd be great. Just because you get even more rest for that second round matchup. And I'm expecting Boston to win that, but if the Knicks can do this in 4, 5 should be the max. If it gets to 6, something's gone terribly wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Frank wanted to bring the broom out. I respect that. Since the beginning, I've kind of been with you on the Knicks in 5 thing because I feel like you're gonna get one explosion game from one of the Hawks 3 stars, probably game 3 or 4 in Atlanta, and they'll probably win there. So, but yeah, he brought up Deuce, and one thing that Deuce caught a bunch of cheap fouls. I think throughout this game, caught like 2 or 3 cheap fouls where he was just kind of trying to apply full court pressure. So hopefully clean that up a little bit, and or the referee swallows the whistle a little bit, whichever your perspective is on that. But he bounced back, hit a couple big threes, and it's classic Deuce stuff, and but yeah, I mean, how do you not feel great about this team right now? Just you want to kind of get the jitters out. You take the first game, you protect home court. You got to feel great about that. And yeah, I know it's still a long series. You got to execute, take care of business, but it's a great start, and they're on their way.
Yeah, they're on their way. They're absolutely on their way indeed. And for McBride, man, look, he's to miss so much of the season and then to have to come back and then get back into rhythm and to be playing, in critical games. It's tough. We knew he would be back in the rotation once he returned. And I think he's still probably getting adjusted to dealing with that sports hernia injury as well.
Yeah.
So, the movement is there. The perimeter defense is there. I think it's just getting back in the shot making and just working through those mechanics and just getting back into a rhythm. 2 of 6 from the field tonight, 2 of 4 from downtown. So he shot 50% from 3. I thought he had some massive threes though. Like
Yeah.
like in that fourth quarter where you're looking for just like answers to extend the lead, because it'd be like Knicks would go on a little bit of a run. Hawks would then make their mini run. Knicks would get back out there. But then when McBride was hitting his shots, it was just taking it to those double-digit leads where, okay, now we're making it a little bit more impossible for the Hawks. Now they really have to figure out and organize. And, they're not going to really attack the paint in a manner where they're going to have somebody backing down and like back to the basket. If it is, it's someone driving, having to utilize screens, or what they like to do is just try to put up a lot of threes, man. So,
Yep.
I just liked. It's just good, man. Just good, man. It's just absolutely good. All right. Speaking about numbers, let's get to our other part of the show, key stats of the night. All right. So let's get to key stats of the night, and let's look at what this team did as a whole. So looking at this one, as we know, the Knicks did win 113-102. We saw the Knicks shoot 48. Oh, hold on. Let's actually run it all the way back from the top. Okay, so they put up 113-102. Knicks did win the rebounding battle 45-40, a lot closer than I was expecting in terms of rebounding. The Knicks would also, actually, they would lose the assist battle 22-25. They would win the steal battle 7-5. They would win the block. They would lose the block battle 12-11. And this is really where they started to make their difference, man. Outside of just shooting well, 48% from the field, 48% from downtown, where they just annihilated the Hawks in that category. I mean, the Hawks did put up 37, but Knicks were very efficient from downtown, 12-25. And the Knicks obviously won the free throw battle, 83-63. But this is what was huge for me. It was the fast break points where they got 22 to the Hawks 13. Points in the paint, they barely won that one, 44-42. And then with that, I'm like, okay, that to me, just the fast break points in general, where you're getting 22, where this is a team that we've watched this season, not necessarily being a run and gun team. I thought that was great to give the Hawks a taste of their own medicine. So that part of tonight's game, from looking from a statistical category, is where I really was impressed by this team, just because it felt like every moment as either Josh or Brunson looking for OG out in transition, somebody with the leak out was just making it easy for the Knicks tonight. And I really appreciated that, giving the Hawks a dose of their own medicine. What was your favorite? What is your key sets of the night, though, Omar?
Yeah, I mean, free throw disparity is a big one here for me. I mean, go from 25-30 for the Knicks to 12 of 19 for the Hawks. So better on percentages, better on attempts. Also, the 3-point disparity huge. Only 25 attempts for the Knicks, which is interesting. Feels pretty low. And still only lost mades by 2, considering they only took 12 less shots. So efficient from the field, efficient from 3, got to the line, made their free throws, which is so important. in the playoffs, and the Hawks missed a bunch. I remember Alexander Walker missed 2 in a row at one point. CJ was missing a couple as well. So you're able to kind of win at the line, get to the line more, and that was a big driver here. And the steals and the fast break, to your point, was a big one. And they were the Knicks a slower team, but they were able to get out in transition at times and kind of pick their spots with the defense. So yeah, those are the ones that stood out to me tonight.
All right, there you go. And then last one I'll throw in there is the second chance opportunities.
Mm.
Knicks did also win that one 13-7, but there you have it. And that's key stats of the night brought to you by our sponsor, Car Gurus. All right. So people, let me tell you something about Car Gurus. Look, when you're looking to buy a car, it's a big decision, difficult decision at times. And you don't want to feel rushed, confused, or second guessing yourself, especially with prices being what they are right now. So that's why we got to mess with Car Gurus. What I love is how simple they make the whole process. With Car Gurus, with Car Gurus Discover, you can skip all those annoying filters and just search the way you actually think. You tell it what you want, maybe good gas mileage for road trips, extra trunk space for the family, or something comfortable for that daily commute. And it shows you real shoppable listings that actually match. That's a game changer. And if you're at a dealership, the Car Gurus app has this feature called Dealership Mode. So it's basically a cheat code. You can compare the car right in front of you to all the similar options. Just check deal ratings, see the price history, and even estimate your final cost all on the spot. That's confidence right there. With over 4 million listings, Car Gurus has one of the biggest selections out there, so you know you're seeing real options and real deals. No wonder it's the #1 most visited car shopping site. So whether you're buying or selling, don't guess, make your big deal the best deal. Go to cargurus.com. That's CARGURUS.com. All right. Now let them know that KFTV sent you. Shout out to Car Gurus. Oh, this is a good question going on in the chat right now. I like it.
What we got?
Wait, it's how do we think Mike Brown did tonight? That's a good
Ooh,
one, Omar. Well, I'll let you go first. What do you think about Mike Brown?
I think he did well. I mean, he had his rotation kind of set up. He pulled Mitch out when the Hack-A-Mitch thing was happening. Really let Brunson sit for a long period there in the fourth quarter. I don't know if you clocked that. I feel like Brunson didn't get in until like 5 minutes left in the game. So, and teams making shots, so that's why he did that. But he kind of trusted the guys to execute. And yeah, I feel like we saw some good stuff from Brown tonight, and it feels like they were emphasizing the Brunson Towns two-man game, even though there was a bunch of turnovers in the first half as a result of that. But the idea was sound, and they were kind of getting in the right spots. It was just a couple bad passes. But no, I feel like for his first playoff game at the Garden, you couldn't have asked for much more from Brown. There weren't any blunders, weren't any bad challenges. It didn't feel like, so yeah, I'd say he did a pretty good job. What do you think?
I thought Mike Brown coached a very good game, man. I thought
Yeah.
when you talk about pushing all the buttons that you need to push, I thought he played guys for as long as he needed to allow them to get into rhythm. I thought he subbed guys out very well. I thought he had his rotations very crisp tonight
Yes.
and kept it very clean, 9. But when you even go through, how much all the times, like how much guys were playing tonight, you look at, like I said, Clarkson got 11, Mitch got 15. I mean, even with the hack of Mitch, he was like, all right, Mitch didn't really get offensive rebounds tonight. Mitch did have really good defensive presence, but it wasn't the full on Mitch effect. So I felt like he was like, all right, not getting the full Mitch effect tonight. I am getting a lot more out of Towns than what I'm expecting.
Right.
And especially considering that this is a coach and a player that has had, some rifts during the season, maybe not seeing eye to eye, and still where you have Towns early on and even parts, even close to the end of the season, saying, hey, I don't really know what my role is. He comes out here and he was Mike Brown, that is, and says, you know what? I'm going to let Towns play 33 minutes tonight. He's giving us a lot defensively, and then offensively figured it out. So I thought he did a good job mixing and matching the rotations, making sure there was enough defense with offense out there. I thought Brown did a really good job tonight. Now, with that all being said, B plus. I can't go A's, man,
Right.
unless it's like a complete blowout. So I'm gonna give it a B
Right.
plus
Right.
if I had to give it a letter grade for tonight, for how Mike Brown did. But I thought he coached a very good game. I thought he coached a really good game, and especially just figuring out, like, knowing ways just to slow down the Hawks from getting. Look, the Hawks are still going to get theirs. The players got to go out there and execute. But you saw that the thought process with it was there and what he wanted the team to do. So I thought he did a good job. What does the rest of the chat think, though? And go ahead.
And on the Towns point, I think that's a big. Maybe I think about this too much about like psychologically. It's just like
big aspect of the game.
The trust. He put a lot of trust in him. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna leave you out here. I'm gonna let you, show that you could do this defensively." Because again, he had a rough offensive start, but and that could be in the past where that detrimented Towns mentally. But he stayed with it. You saw him get fired up at a couple defensive plays, and that goes a long way. And that is part. You got to credit the coach for keeping him in there and not resorting to say, all right, well, there's one lapse thing. Let me bring Mitch in. He stuck with Towns down the stretch, and he said Mitch only 15 minutes. He had a couple big blocks throughout the game, but not a typical Mitch performance. So no need to press the issue there. So I think that's going to be huge for Towns going through the rest of the series, and that is probably something that won't get talked about that much about Brown doing that, but it's a big factor.
For sure. And look, even you got to talk about like calling the timeouts at the right time too, right? Where you see even in the fourth quarter, Hawks are starting to make a run. All right, timeout. Let's not even let this thing even become a thing, right? Early on in the game, calling timeouts where they're just starting to surmount the lead, and if it looks like they're going to try to get like on a massive run, it's like, nope, let's call a timeout. Let's get back. Let's coordinate, figure out what's going on here, defensively, offensively. I thought he did a really good job tonight at that, man. And look, it's tough, especially with how this season is unfolding and seeing all the, I think I'm more so impressed based on like his whole process to getting here. Once again, it's not the job's done, but for what he did tonight, it seems like he really understands what the approach needs to be in this series. And I thought he had that locked in for game one. So I see some people giving him an A-. I see B. I see B+ is in the chat. I see a C-. Wow, C-. I see a C.
Tough crowd.
Now, man, that is tough. Do not be my teacher, please, for the love of God. All right, I thought at least he tried. Damn, getting some rough graders out here.
Yeah,
it's tough, man. I see someone in the chat says, "Shout out to PR Blaze saying, imagine if Mitch could hit 50% of his free throws." Knicks would be unstoppable. Yeah, man. Look, if Mitch was able to hit 50% of his free throws, that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. Then we would never have Hack-A-Mitch. I see my guy Will from LI giving a B+. Okay. I see wow, getting tongue twisted over here. The Knickerbocker, Brooklyn to Virginia saying B+. All right, people giving B+. There we go. Solid B or B+. All right, that's what Carmen Duda with the B+. Courtney J with the A-. JC and Deuce get an A. All right.
Okay.
I see Spamanos with the A-. All right.
Alex, just a lot of questions too. Like when it's your first year with the team, how are you going to react in the postseason as a coach? There's a lot of pressure there, right? And so, I understand people saying B+, whatever. 'Cause you still won the game. There were some things to tighten up for sure, especially like the rotation on screen navigation and all that stuff. But I do think that him kind of taking out Mitch, and it's probably rare for any of us to say this, but Stan Van Gundy on the Prime broadcast made a pretty interesting point that they probably wanted to pull that out just because it was not allowing them to get into their offensive rhythm. And I was just like, yeah, that's actually a really good point, because you're just kind of bringing it up and then they're fouling him immediately. You have no opportunity to get into the flow, and then you get cold. And so he's just like, enough of this. And to me, that was a good decision. I feel like in the past, they might have rode that out another possession or two. And Brown was just like, my offensive rhythm here is way too important to sacrifice. So I think that was a good bit of decision making by him.
For sure. And then to even work off the offensive rhythm, that was what got us into the game, right? The defense the defense actually wasn't even really holding us down until later as the game progressed. It was really the offense that was like giving us that life that was needed for this team to really create some separation in that first half. So great points all around. We got another caller on the line, Omar. So let's get to another caller we got here. We got PimpShrimp. That's a hell of a tag, man. PimpShrimp, what's going on, man? What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
I appreciate it, Alex. My name's Victor. I'm actually in New Hampshire, not too far away from you.
All right, we're in New Hampshire, my man.
I'm in Hooksett. It's like right in between. It's like not too far from Manchester, so I'm pretty close.
Now you know what you
I
want.
actually went to that Boston game recently when we kind of gave him BTA, the Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good
was a
one.
good one.
Exclude the traffic getting home, but yeah.
All
Anyways,
right.
real quick, I just want to keep it super short because I know probably other people on the line waiting to go. One thing that I just wanted to pull my hair out was just they weren't even considered second chance points, but all the just unnecessary fouls under the rim that they'd miss like they'd take a shot, Atlanta would take a shot and they'd miss, and like we'd get these silly fouls off ball that were just unnecessary. And then of course Atlanta would come back and get a bucket right after that just kept them in the game. I mean, I don't know about y'all. I feel like there were certain points where we could have just completely taken off like way earlier in the game, but I guess it ended up panning out good either way. It was a good win, but I definitely don't think it's going to be a easy series as some people kind of look at it.
I don't think it's going to necessarily be the easiest series. I think the Hawks will get back into it. I think they'll clean some stuff up. I think the Knicks, look, for this Knicks team, man, it's going to be the same thing that's been trying to true from last year. Can they clean it up and play the closest to perfect that we've seen this team reach? Like when we see them, give BTA to whether it's the Celtics or the Nuggets. Like we've seen what the pinnacle of this team can look like. Can they do that consistently on a night to night basis where it's like, all right, can we be, easy living over here and be going to be like, look, against a young Hawks team, you'd like to see that, but I feel like this is just part of it's part of kind of like the Knicks ethos where it's like they will shoot themselves in the foot some way, somehow, even if it's so ticky tacky as like off ball like fouls, you know what I mean? But I think they could definitely clean that up. I feel like there's also part of like what the refs are trying to do as well, like trying to like, hey, do you really want to see a blowout in the postseason? Is that really what you want? I feel like there's going to be some like, we want to make this a good game too. I feel like that's a little bit of that as well.
Yeah, true. That is a pretty good point. I also really agree with you on Jordan Clarkson. Like, it's kind of like like a breath of fresh air knowing that there's somebody else out there besides Deuce. Like, Deuce is a great player, and I love everything that he does for the team and brings to us. But like, I just felt like there was so much pressure on him last year when Brunson wasn't on the court to kind of like replace that scoring. And like Deuce on defense is incredible. So for like Clarkson to like, there were some points there where I was like, just give Clarkson the ball and just get out the way. And he
Right?
got it. And he just got to the bucket. Like he gets to the bucket. And I mean, there's points where I'm so frustrated watching them because they're passing each other the ball just standing on the 3-point line and nobody's even attacking to the basket. And then Clarkson gets it, and then he just goes to the rim, and it just kind of creates opportunities for our shooters as well. You know what I mean? Like we don't have that many shot creators in like Landry Shamet and all them, but I just think when Clarkson gets that ball, he kind of like opens it up for a lot of the options, and he gets to the basket. He's a pretty good. He kind of finishes actually pretty consistently.
Yeah, for sure. Look, man, when it was like it was me, shout out to George from Into the Knicks verse and CP, and like they both brought to my attention that was like Russell Westbrook and Clarkson both bought out. Who would I want? I was like, oh, give me Clarkson instantly. I mean, just like a guy, he can shoot. I mean, the three hasn't really been there this season, but I know like he's the guy that once he really gets going, like if that three ball falls, like it is lights out, man. This is a guy that got easy put up 25. That three ball was falling naturally for him. But I like to your point, Vic. I just like the way that he plays. He gets out there, keep giving him the ball. Like the only issue is though is like he's just. We know that he could be a little sporadic at times, but I feel like he's so locked in at this point. Like just keep feeding him 4-6 for him in 11 minutes, 8 points. Give me more of that.
I also agree with, I believe Omar said it, with giving Mike Brown just giving Brunson that time to rest, man. Like, I'm not used to that. I'm used to him just kind of getting ran throughout the whole game, ran into the ground. So there were points where I was almost like, oh my God, like Brunson's still resting and we're up 6 points. Like, this is kind of nice. Not used to it. But I won't hold you guys too long tonight. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everything you do. CP, we waiting on you, man. Where you at?
Oh, CP's got what is it now? We got 10 minutes for CP.
Yep.
We got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes, Vic. Don't worry. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Yo, we got 10 minutes for CP. Where's he at, man? I feel like we got to punish CP at some point, man. We got to punish CP, man. We got to make this guy, he keeps talking about money time. He keeps pointing at that watch. You got to point at that watch just to be on time, my guy. Come on now. All right. I don't know what we got to do, man. Maybe Maybe you get me a good bottle, CP, for showing up late. Maybe you get me a good bottle of something. That's what I need. All right. I'm a tequila guy. All right. I know.
I was about that was my next question, Alex. What a bottle of what? You know,
tequila. We ain't at KFTV After Dark yet, so we won't get too rowdy. But hey, man, it is what it is. We got 10 minutes. Well, now 8 minutes for CP to get back here, so we'll see what happens. There we go. You see Jack throwing in the money time with the red flag. People getting ready to throw flags out here. Don't worry. We ready, man. We are locked in and ready to go places. All right. Well, he probably is. He is probably celebrating to the highest degree. So nothing would surprise me less if he showed up with a towel over his face to start off the show. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yo, that commercial for Josh Hart today was not expecting that one. Talk about things I did not have on the bingo card. Things I did not have on the bingo card was that
Alex
Josh Hart commercial.
Has there been a recent Nick that's benefited more from being a Nick from off the court stuff than Josh Hart? I feel like this guy has so many sponsorships now. You know, as like a like a role player. You know, it's just like it's the New York effect. You love to see that.
Yeah, look, I mean, people want to talk about politics and stuff like this, like why is he in the starting lineup? Like most of it is because he does what he does. But don't think that if he was a bench player, he'd be getting these sponsorships too. You know what sounds better?
Correct.
Yo, you know who we got from the Knicks? The starting shooting guard, not the hey, we got the sixth man. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like there's a little bit of that probably goes too. Look, it's never just one thing completely, but he earned his right to be in that starting rotation by the way that he plays. Do not mince words on that, but there's probably definitely a little bit of other stuff that goes out there too. Why he gets that benefit of being in the starting rotation. Why he gets a little bit of leeway. All right.
Yep.
Bottle of Uzu, Hard Jeezy. Look, man, I'm trying to stay awake.
Man.
I'm not trying to. You're trying to get me passed out on the show, man. I'd be. You wouldn't see me. You'd just be seeing this backdrop. You'd be seeing Madison Square Garden if I was having some Uzu. Yeah, man. Big tequila Alex. All right, man. I see everybody making jokes now. All right, people. I appreciate it.
Something that Vic brought up on his call there was about Clarkson, and it's something I really believe is that last year they really lacked that initiator when Brunson and Towns were on the bench, and it feels significant, man, because there were times, especially in the Indiana series, where you're like, all right, where are you going to get it from now? And so when you got a guy who you could confidently give the ball to for 10 to 15 minutes, and he could just create and keep the offense flowing, get it out of the mud, and that's a huge thing. And really any type of team that has championship aspirations needs to have a guy like that. So he's gonna be huge this postseason, man. It's we saw a little bit of it tonight. I'm curious how much PT he gets moving forward.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Shout out to the Knicks chick. She said, in CP's defense, he stopped to take pics with 1 million people.
Hollywood, man. I love that.
Hey, man.
That's great. Man of the people.
Thank you. Well, one, congratulations to Knicks chick and CP yet again on their nuptials. So shout out to that. Shout out to the Knicks chick for giving us that little bit of tidbit. But the man did say 45 minutes. All right. When he said 45 minutes, he said 45 minutes from that time. So we still ticking. We still ticking over here. All right. We still waiting. All right. Let's keep this thing going, man. We got more people on the line. Let's get to the callers. People, keep calling in, man. We want your takes. We got people on the line. This is look, man. We're celebrating. All right, we were celebrating. We got game 1 against the Hawks, 113-102. Salute to Knicks Nation. Salute to all of KFTV. Salute to the franchise channel members. All right, salute to everybody tapping in right now. We got mad people tapping in right now, Omar. We got mad people tapping in. We got 1,500 on the line with us. All right, we got 1,500 live with us, just tapping in right now off of this Knicks win against the Atlanta Hawks. Salute to all of you for being here right now. All right. And let's get to some more callers, man. Let's get to some more callers. Let's get to Maly. Maly's on the line. Maly, what's happening, bro?
What's up, Alex? Man?
I'm good, man. Hold on. Your audio sounds a little funky, man. Are you on the headphones? What's going on here?
I don't know.
All right, speak again. Let's hear it.
Hear me now?
I can hear you now. Well, actually, if you could jump out and jump back in, because it still sounds a little funky. So do that, and then I'll get right back to you. All right, Maly?
All right.
All right, appreciate it. All right, so while Maly gets ready to come back in, let's see if we can fix that audio, because he still sounds like he's talking from the tops of the mountains. Let's get to our guy, King Matthews, man. King Matthews, what's going on, bro? How you feeling after this victory? King Matthews.
Feeling great.
There he is, right at the
Oh,
buzzer.
how y'all feeling tonight, man? Not gonna lie, I was kind of getting a little scared. That game tonight, man, it just gave me flashbacks in that last game, man. Thank God we pulled over.
So you were feeling the same way as Omar was. Last couple of
Yes.
minutes, you start to see the flashbacks of Knicks Pacers game 1. They make the little bit of a run. You were getting worried.
Bro, don't get me started. But we locked it in. We locked
That's
it
all
in,
that
man.
matters, man. We locked in.
And for them haters, man, hey, Sweet Lou, keep that mouth shut, buddy. We ain't worried. Even though it's game 1, keep that mouth shut. But let's get to the game, man. Out from the rip, man. This has already set up the tone, man. 17 points in the first quarter. He was doing his thing. Shout out to Cat, man. Even earlier, it was a little struggle, but the thing I like about in the first quarter, Cat was just passing the ball around. Like, he was doing his thing, passing around the ball. Hart did his thing. Even Mikal Bridges, quiet game, but he did his thing, man. And like for Deuce McBride, he just got back from injury, so I'm gonna let him slide. The only thing I didn't like though, regarding Dyson Daniels, like he's a 3-point shooter. Leave him treat him like he's Ben Simmons. Come on. But anyway,
agree with that.
good one for the Knicks, man. 3 more to go. Already got my drinks, got that jungle, got that tropical in my vein.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, keep rolling. Let's go, Knicks. And CP, shout out to you with the wedding, man. Knicks on top. Y'all take it easy, man. Shout out to CK. Shout out to JD. Shout out to you, Alex. And shout out to the big Amar. That's for you, baby. Y'all take it easy.
Appreciate you, King Matthews. Appreciate you for tapping in, my guy. Hey, man.
Yeah, King Matthews after dark, Alex. Good to
King
go.
Matthews after dark, man. He's saying he's got that jungle juice. Holy cow, man. It is. Well, relax. Good Lord, man. Jungle juice. That just
You
gives
made a good point about Dyson Daniels, though. I feel like they were sagging off him a little bit. Sag off him more. This guy just shot under 20% on the year. He might be one of the worst shooting 3-point shooters in the league, man. So, make him, if he makes one, you live with that, right? So I would like to see them, just dare him to take the shot more and more. So that should be something we should see, I think, moving on into game 2 and beyond.
Yeah, look, I think for sure that they should sag off more on Dyson. Like, he's not going to shoot the ball that well. Like, unless he is like, look, because there's always the anomaly. There's always, look, a blue moon, right? Like, he could shoot that well, but I feel like you could give this guy a lot more space and protect the paint even a lot more and force what the other opponents like to do to us, right? Isn't that what we should be doing? The same thing. If like you have a guy that's out there on the perimeter that can't shoot, do the same treatment that they give Josh Hart, right? Difference is Josh Hart can shoot, this cat can't. So like, why are we doing that? And just so that everyone knows, so we have an idea how well Dyson Daniels shoots from downtown. He shoots 18%.
Yeah,
so,
not great.
Not great. And that's off of a measly 1.5 attempts per game. So we are not the likelihood of this guy becoming a flamethrower in the postseason under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden or wherever he is, it's not going to happen. And so with that being said, Karl-Anthony Towns, do not be at the perimeter like you did to start off, man. You do not need to be at the perimeter. They talked about it on the broadcast too. Protect the paint. The whole point that you're on him is to help roam and help guard the paint. You did that later on, but you can leave that man on an island, a legitimate island. You do not have to guard him because if he's got to go driving into traffic, let that man drive into traffic. So please, for the love of God, do not, no more. But yeah, it's a great point. Like, we don't need to do that. And that's like, and that goes back to the whole point. Like when you're talking about why is Hart on Brunson, not Brunson, on Jalen Johnson. Sorry, too many Jalen's in this league, man. Why? That's why Hart is on Johnson, why OG is on Onyeka and Kongwu, and why Cat is on Daniels. They're saying we'll make you guys play 4 versus 5. That's the whole point. So that's why I think it's fine, man. That's why I think it's fine. We got more callers on the line, man. Let's get back to Maly. Maly, let's see how you feeling, man. How you doing? What's going on?
All right. Do you hear me better now?
Yes, that is perfect. There we go. Crystal clear. It doesn't sound like you're talking to us from the Alps.
I appreciate it though. But honestly, I was hyped for this game, man. Like I clocked out of work early today to watch the game.
Let's go.
I mean, look, to be honest with you, I think we could have played. There's a lot of room for improvement that we could
Mhm.
do better. There was too many wide open layups and dunks I saw tonight, but I liked how we stuck with it. Brunson had it going first quarter. He had 19 points in the first quarter. That's Brunson. We're used to that at this point. But I think once we brush up on a couple more things, we gotta protect home court advantage. Win both games at home. Maybe I was speaking to my dad earlier. I was like, I'm not gonna be disrespectful and be like, we're gonna sweep them. But maybe we might give one up in Atlanta. I can live with that.
Mhm.
But we gotta take one in Atlanta. We protect home court, win two at home, win at least one in Atlanta. If we win both, if we sweep them, great. But um, well, look, I think tonight just not really playing the best like as overall as a team and still getting the win. I think that's a good sign. Um, because I think we didn't really get to see OG or Mikkel really get going, or even our bench like Deuce and Shamet
Mhm.
still came with the win. So I think that's a really good sign. And it's only game one. I'm not gonna like jump out the window, but I think we're definitely in a good position to get where we want to get to.
For sure.
But that's all I have to really say tonight. Honestly, let's just keep it even kill and let's see what happens.
Appreciate you for tapping in, Maly. Appreciate you for always repping us, man.
No problem.
So, and I agree with Maly, man. Look, I like
Mhm.
we did not like we talked about it earlier in the show too, Omar. Like this was not the cleanest game from the
Right.
Knicks. Where look, even the beginning, like you had the turnovers, you had the well, actually, yeah, I honestly had some miscues on rebounding too. Like there was opportunities for Mitch, for everybody out there, where it's like we gave the Hawks some easy second chance looks. Thankfully, they didn't cash in on a lot of them, but there were some rebounds that we let get away too. Not being aware of who was ready to just create a turnover, like even with Josh Hart bring up the rock and next thing you know, it's a turnover right there, or Cat trying to do a leak out pass and then you just turn it right over, right? It's like there's
Mhm.
so many areas the Knicks could clean up from tonight to make this game a lot more crisp and much more dominant. And that's what I feel like we're waiting to see. But it's fine. It's game one. Like they haven't played for a week. They had some time to
Yeah.
rest. Haven't played for a week. Look, and like for anyone who's played sports, the butterfly, the jitters, all that stuff. Like for a meaningful game, like you gotta knock that out of the way. You gotta get that through. Now they got the confidence. They should feel more comfortable with game two being back at Madison Square Garden, and they should go out and they should play a much cleaner game. But with what Maly said, is like, look, it's a good sign to get a win in this manner, being not only the more talented team, but knowing that you didn't play your best game whatsoever.
Yep. Yeah, and I will say a lot of the callers have been pretty measured so far. So it's but yeah, there's so much room for improvement still. We've talked about it earlier in the show about giving up some easy baskets, stupid fouls underneath, second chance opportunities. So there's still room to. They didn't play their best game by far, which is encouraging because you still got the win, and you withstood 20-point nights from CJ and from Jalen Johnson, and were able to overcome that. So you got to feel good about the way the series is trending because their two best players still had decent games, and you were still able to have a pretty comfortable win. But all things imagined, even though they got it close towards the end there. So yeah, I mean, gotta be confident right now about the way the team's looking, and we didn't see the full deck, so to speak, with involving OG more, involving Mikal more, and the bench kind of having a pouring out. It was really mostly Cat and Brunson, offensively. So that's still encouraging, right? So we'll see if there's a little bit more layers of the onion in game two and beyond.
We'll definitely see if there's more layers for sure, Omar. We'll definitely see if there's more layers for sure. Let's get to another caller, my man.
Yep.
Let's get to Knicksfix. Knicksfix, my man.
Sick.
How you doing, bro? How you feeling? Were you at the watch party tonight?
Alex, Omar, what up, fellas?
What's good,
What up?
man? Were you at the watch party, Knicksfix? Where were you?
I was not, man. I just came off of 2 weeks of straight up like 14-hour shift. So
Oh,
I'm gonna be
whoa.
there for game four though, man. I'll be there for game four.
That's what's up.
Yo, this is what's up, man. This is what I'm talking about. Yo, this is game one of 16. 15 more W's to get, fellas. Let's go. I honestly think after watching this game, like they were holding on to that pick and roll. They were holding on to that 2-man game for a little bit longer than we thought because it looked crisp. Like they know exactly where and what they want to do. I'll take it, man. Yo, um, I think the main thing that I noticed tonight is Mikhail put Nikhil Alexander Walker in jail. Like he was having trouble getting his shots up. And the thing is, I feel like as long as we finish this, yeah, I honestly think this. I agree with CP. This series might finish in 4. I honestly think. I feel like I thought this series was going 5, but based on how the Knicks are countering, they just look more seasoned. Like if you compare this game 1 to last year's game 1 against Detroit, they look ready. Like they're poised for the moment. Give me that smoke, yo. Give me that smoke. Let's go, fellas.
That's what I'm talking about, Knicksfix. That's what I'm talking about. Knicksfix saying we gotta get the sweep, man. He said, forget the 5. We're going in 4, baby. We're gonna get this thing in 4. Let's go. That's what I'm talking
That's what
about.
I'm saying. You know what it is, man? I was afraid. Like early in the season, I called in. I was like, this Atlanta team looks tough. I was like, I don't want to face them. But the Knicks made the adjustments and like they look good. Like the cat looks like a different. He's playing at the top of the key. He's an offensive hub. He's the one that's dishing out. It's almost like an inverted like Princeton offense. So let's go, man. Bring me that smoke, fellas. That's all. Knicks in 4.
Knicks in 4. Shout out to you, Knicksfix.
4.
Rate that call in the chat, man. Rate Knicksfix call in the chat. 5 being facts, 1 being trash. How do you feel about his call in the trash? And call in the chat. My bad. How do you feel about his call in the chat? I'm giving that a 5 right now because Knicksfix is talking that talk, man, for sure. That's right. That's right. That's right, D-Ken. And he is talking that talk. And look, the way and he made a great point, man. The adjustments, and it's not necessarily just for the coach, but for the player, right? Like the players, like the adjustment and like seeing it's like whatever the Hawks defense was throwing at them, they were saying, all right, let's switch it up. Like we wouldn't see this last year under Tibbs, where it was like a lot of it was just straight up. It's like our talent is just better than your talent. They're gonna go out there and they're just gonna out talent you. When you watch it now, it's out talent and it's also out schematic. So if we're not seeing the matchup that we want within the first 4 seconds, all right, let's get guys flowing around. Like the way that they're just getting switches to whatever they want. Like Brunson saying, you know what, I'd rather have Jalen Johnson. Let's switch here. I'll go off here, get it to you, Hart, get it right back to me. I got the match with them. Right. And the quick decision making there. We wouldn't see a lot of that last year. Or even with how they started the game, right? Where you have Karl Anthony Towns just working as a hub, as Knicksfix is talking about, and just finding guys just like cutting to the basket, easy ones, OG, Brunson, whoever. And like he had some miscues, but you could see that the practice is there. And just getting the butterflies out, getting the nerves out. I think we will see something a little bit more cleaner just because the process was there. I could firmly say that this process is something that you can replicate on a night-to-night basis. And let's also look at it this way. I know fans were complaining where they said, all right, it's too much JB to start the game. Let's get the guys involved first. They did try getting guys involved first. And then when there was no answer, then JB took over. And then they still went back to sharing the rock. So I think the processing is much better than what we saw at the beginning and middle of the season, man. I think what we saw at the end of the season is going to translate a lot into this postseason run.
Yeah, then just the cat as a hub thing is something that they really need to abuse just because of his capability as a shooter and just all the optionality you get there. And again, under Tibbs, it's just like it was so much usage and focus on Brunson just doing everything, right? And they showed really early they were willing to go away from that, willing to kind of get him open in different scenarios as opposed to just, pounding the rock to the top of the key, which annoys a lot of people, right? But I think that that's again a sign that this team has matured and learned its lessons from last year. I think they were mentioning it where this is a team that's kind of like they know what the moment is. They're kind of ready for the moment more so than they were last year in that opening series against the Pistons. And this feels like a team that understands the goal and is going to execute to get to the goal. And they held this little 2-man game until the very end of the season, and it feels like with a little more repetition, it could be lethal throughout the postseason, which is all we can ask for.
Yeah, that's all we can ask for, Omar. All we can ask for, indeed. Saw a question on how we felt about Landry Shamet in this one, and look, Landry didn't have the best. He's also coming back from injury and trying to get himself figured out as well. 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 5 from downtown. Got you 3 points. Not the best outing from Shamet, but I thought he still gives you a lot of energy. And look, same thing with Deuce, man. Like both those guys miss time. Like when you're in a rhythm and then you get out of rhythm, you get back into rhythm. It's tough. Now I know he came back and he showed that he was in more rhythm than McBride, but still, I'm not too worried about Shamet. He's a role player at the end of the day. I think he will get his. I find it sure enough. He's getting the opportunities, and Mike Brown still trusts him. You want to talk about giving guys that reign to like get back into rhythm? He got 18 minutes tonight, and he was allowed. He took 6 attempts. You know, he was getting attempts. It's just, look, tonight wasn't his night, and he'll be fine. I'm not too worried. I like I still like the bench unit that Mike Brown chose. They're totally fine, guys. Absolutely, totally fine. What do you think, Omar?
Yeah, I think he had a couple of really good defensive possessions as well. Obviously, the shot wasn't there. You know, that's obvious. But there were a couple of sequences where he really made Jalen Johnson work for a shot, and you know
He
that's
did.
it's not a favorable matchup for Shamet, right? So to be able to he's an underrated defender on the perimeter. I think he really gives them again another guy that they could throw at these wing players when the main guys are sitting. So from that aspect, good there. But yeah, the shot will come back. I agree with you. I'm not worried. You know, he's had slumps. He's busted out of them. He's just getting his feet back wet after being injured. The shots will come. The looks were good. You know, like I said, talk about process earlier. The process to get him those looks was good. Just weren't falling. I fully expect them to fall in the next few games.
Yeah, man. Just wasn't look and it's fine. I think it's a great point that you brought up the defense, just because even going to like that fourth quarter play he had on Nikhil Alexander Walker, where Nah got bailed out because of once again a foul underneath the rim, where it's like, oh my god, guys, like how many times do we have to do something off ball to give the Hawks another chance? Like Shamet played some good defense on Nikhil Alexander Walker, and you know forced him to have some difficult shots as well. So not too worried, man. He's giving you enough defensively where he's going to stay out on the court. He's another wing. We need wings. He's totally fine, man. Him and McBride are going to find their shots. They're going to have their games. That's why they're role players, man. They're gonna find they will have their games. Stars should be the guys that get you the consistent players. Role players come in and come out. That's just how it is, man. That's just how it goes. Let's get to some super chats. I see you on the line, Will, from LI. I see you on the line. We'll get to you in a second. I just want to get through some super chats while we're here. Let's get back to some of these super chats that we got, Omar. So, where did we leave off? Here we are. So shout out to Timothy Danzler for the $10 super chat. He says, let's turn the Hawks into Magic City chicken wings and get them up out of here in 4. Hey, I like that energy, man. I like that energy, Timothy. I like that energy. We got Boom looking for this with a $5 super chat. Says 15 more wins. Let's go Knicks, and throws in the orange and blue hearts as well. 15 more, man. 15 more to be, immortal in this city. So, but just got to take it one game at a time. One series at a time, one game at a time. Got to wait until Monday, where they play the Atlanta Hawks for game 2 at Madison Square Garden at 8 p.m. We got Pure Power. Pure Powerful Programming. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. We got a Freak NY with the $20 super chat. Shout out to you for being a franchise channel member as well, and for being number 1 on the leaderboard in the comment section. It's saying, please support KFTV. They never mail it in. Always must see content. Appreciate you for always tapping in and for supporting the movement. Really do appreciate it. People, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys for tapping in on the regular, just for giving us this opportunity to talk about Knicks and to build this community. We really do appreciate it more than you believe. So shout out to all you for who constantly tap in on the regular. Shout out to No Diddy Barbecue with the $5 super chat. Says, all right, man. I ain't saying that. All right. All right, man.
The name is No Diddy.
If this was somebody else, you probably would have got them, but I ain't saying that. Nope. And there's a good reason. There's a damn good reason why your tag is No Diddy, because that sir, that is diabolical. No, that is diabolical. Shout out to you though for the $5 super chat for being a franchise channel. Shout out to Ty for the $2 super chat says Nixon 4 buck. All right, we got Mr. Nick. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys for tapping in. We got some franchise channel members. Shout out to Jason Calcanis for being a franchise channel member. Shout out to you, Jay Calman. Appreciate you for your support as always. Shout out to Chef Guns. Shout out to Pat's Nation. Shout out to Worldwide Nick. Shout out to Nemu. Who else we got in here? Who else became a franchise channel member? Shout out to Sunny Dog. Sunny Dog who's a franchise channel member, gifting 5 people to become a franchise channel member. So shout out to you, Sunny Dog. Really appreciate it. Shout out to you. Is that my? Oh, there's my guy. There's my guy, TM. Yeah, TM, you saw that? I see TM saying, "Hey, yo, yeah, I know TM saw it. TM, my guy, the chief mod in operation. I know my guy saw that super chat. Things are getting wild out here, man. Absolutely wild. All right, shout out to Boom looking for this with the $5 super chat. Says, just wanted to say I am a Yeet McSkee and thank you for the opportunity to call in. We all love and appreciate everything y'all do. Go Knicks. No, appreciate you. Appreciate you for tapping in. All right, we are still waiting for CP. CP watch is now been extended. We are now in overtime. We're now in overtime by another 20. So my man is now an hour. If someone has seen CP outside, make sure that man does not have a full glass of whiskey or bourbon. We need him here. Where are you, CP? Where are you indeed? This man's like Carmen Sandiego. All right, let's get to another call, man. Let's get to another call. We got Will from LI on the line. Will, what's happening?
Hey, Alex, Omar, you guys got me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got you.
The stage is yours, man. You are here.
Yes,
You are alive.
yes, sir. So I don't have a stadium report, but I do have the KnicksFanTV report. Okay, because it was jumping in.
So you were at the watch party.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a great time as always.
You always show up and show out, man. We appreciate you for that.
Absolutely, it was a great time as always. I was kicking in with some Knicks faithfuls. Shout out to Eric L. Beats and Ari from Manhattan. I do a bet that I made with Ari that I think Knicks Nation would love to hear this. But regardless, when it comes to the overall performance of the team, it's a B plus, man. It's a B plus because Brunson had a pretty good game. He came out aggressive, and then Cat had a good half. You know, for the first half, I'm not even gonna hold you. I was disappointed in Cat. I was like, you got to win these matchups. You like you're not getting involved. You're not taking the shots. I believe at one point in the second half, you only had 2 shot attempts. I was like, we're not doing this. Like, it's clear that Jalen Brunson is the Batman who's trying to be Robin for this game. And I'm looking. It looked like it was going to be Mikal. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. He started pretty good. And, everybody else did their thing. Everybody else had I don't even think, like, players even played the best game. Like, honestly, like, OG had 18. He was really good. But, like, when it came to, like, the overall hierarchy, we had a good Jalen Brunson game. We had a good half of Karl Anthony Towns. We had a pretty decent OG game. Mikal Bridges had a pretty good start. And then Josh Hart kind of did his thing with the offensive rebounds. But, like, we didn't even get the Josh Hart threes. Shout out to Jordan Clarkson. You're right. Those non-Brunson minutes were pivotal. Okay, He came in there. I think he only had like about 8 or 9 points. Those things mattered because we needed the captain to get as much rest as he could, and then he took us home. Overall, it was an amazing win. I got to see CP and the Knicks chick. Shout out to them. Congratulations to them and their wedding. It was a pretty good night, man. It was a pretty good night. And then this bet I made with Ari. So after exchanging a couple of drinks, me and Ari made this bet. If Mikal Bridges has a 20-plus point game in any of the playoff series, Ari has to call in and give a positive Mikal Bridges take. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to be on the lookout for Mikal Bridges. When he hits a 20-point game, Ari from Manhattan, please call in and give your positive Mikal Bridges take. Thank you very much. I'll leave it to you guys. You guys have a good
Oh,
day.
my God. Appreciate you for tapping in from I appreciate you,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was a great call. Shout out to the resident DJ Eric L. Beats for always holding down at the watch parties, man. Shout out to Ari, franchise caller, man. Shout out to we'll put it out there, man. We'll put it out there. All right, we'll get back to talking about the entire breakdown of what Will said because look, as of right now, I'm very curious. Are we gonna get it? Mikal, if you're out there, you already know, man. If you are, I know Mikal, you already know how Ari from Manhattan feels. So now, not saying you got to force the issue, but if you get 20, make sure to be tapped in, man. Make sure to be tapped in because now Ari has to call. We'll put the bet out there, Ari. So we're expecting when you have to call in now when there are 20, when Mikal gets 20 plus points, right? 20 points or greater. So we are expecting a call. Now, getting back to Will's call, make sure to rate that call in the chat. 5 being facts, 1 being trash. I think that was another 5, man, from Will. I like what he had to say. It was like, got the win, wasn't perfect, which has been the theme the entire night, but you got good looks from everybody. What did you think about Will's call?
Well, first thing I want to know if there is a sliding scale of niceness depending on how many points. So is it the same call if Mikal gets 20 versus 28, for example? So, yeah, I would love to hear the terms of the call. But bring up to what Will was saying. Yeah, he's absolutely right. You know, you got a good Brunson game, a good Cat half, and that's the thing. You still are able to win the game without playing a perfect game, right? And again, that's a good thing, right? You know, the team won. They had gotten out to like a 19-point lead at one point. Well, on the fact that not everybody was having an awesome game. Oh, the bench scoring wasn't as great as it could be all around. You know, Mitch wasn't having a peak Mitch game. Cat had a bad turnover half. You know, these are things that they can fix, and they were still able to get a win. So you're still going to be super happy about that, knowing that they still have more to offer in future games in this series and in potential for future rounds as well. So yeah, I'm looking to see more from the bench players, from the role players in game 2. Because if you're just going to have to rely on good Brunson game after good Brunson game, you're not going to go super far in this postseason. So that's going to be the important thing. How do these bench guys rebound after having a so-so game in game 1, even though they still got the win?
Yeah, and I think it's to your point, Omar, it's definitely how they rebound after, not the physical rebounding, but like how they rebound after like all these miscues that they had. And look, it's not concerned. Like no one's going to highlight. Like we are highlighting it, but no one's going to make it like a doomsday type of show or anything, or because they still got the win. But you know, if they do the same thing again, and then next thing you know, like if it came into an L, you know, this thing's going to be harped on from here to Timbuktu, and then you're going to have everybody like, well, what's this? What that? Did this? Changing lineups and all this stuff. So we already know what it is, man. But look, thing is, they got the win. They got the win. We know how the captain would say it. All right, we know how he would say it. So, and oh look,
I was waiting for you to say something.
We're waiting until he gets on screen. We're waiting for producer Gamma to put him on screen with us. But we know he's hyped, man. We know he's hyped. He's here. He's ready to go. We're just waiting for him to be on screen with us, though. We're still waiting.
I'm late, man. I'm late.
I appreciate you acknowledging that, Steve.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
I am late.
You said 45, man. I think you meant 45 from 10.
Listen, man. Am I on? Am I live? Am I on video?
There we go. Now you are.
There it is. There it is.
And I told you this is how he's going to enter, man. I told you to be with the towel over the face.
Listen, this is what it's about. It's a people's show, isn't it?
It is.
So I kind of come in repping the people, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure my camera's clear here. Welcome to KFTV Omar to the mix, man. Welcome to KFTV Omar, man. Does a great job in the KFTV Newsletter. Now we got him behind the camera on video, sharing his insights, man. Shout out to Omar. Great job, man, as usual. Absolutely. Yo, listen, man. It's playoff time, Al. I was listening. I was tapped in to the #1 show for the fans by the fans. I was in the fan seats, as Chuck D said, listening to you guys break down the game very well. Listen, man. It's a packed crowd at the Garden, 19,000 plus raucous fans. It's me and wifey. You know, we got to navigate the crowd. We're getting a lot of, the congratulations.
Here we go. Here come the excuses now. How many drinks did you have? No. How many drinks did you have?
Too much. Not too much. Just two. Just two tonight.
Just two.
Okay.
Okay.
Just 2 tonight. Yeah, I had to make sure I get home for post game, man. I'm still working. I'm working before the game, working after the game. So, but nevertheless, you know, you know about all the mayhem outside of the Garden. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that, I would have been back. But we gotta indulge. We gotta get into the mix. We gotta get into the mosh pit. We gotta take pictures with the people. You know, it's the first game of the playoffs, man. And then, not to mention, we got a whole watch party going on. So we got to go back to the watch party, close out, make sure everything was good, which it was. Shout out to everybody that pulled up at Slate. We won. No watch party curse and all of that for the people that are scared to come outside. They won the game. Okay? And then we got home. So it's action-packed, man. I wish I could be multiple places at once, but nevertheless, we are here in the number one show for the fans by the fans. Knicks win, most importantly, 113 and 102. I'm not satisfied. Not satisfied, man.
Why are you not satisfied?
We did what we needed to do, okay? And I want to, you know, going into this series, I got Ari DM me, CP, is it true that you said they're going to sweep the Hawks? I said, yeah, they'll sweep them. At the very least, 5 games. You know, you got these people watching the games with diapers on, like I always tell you, Alex. Oh, the Knicks, the Hawks, they're going to win in 7, and Vegas is picking against Knicks. Why? For what reason? If the Knicks go out and do what they need to do, they're not even in the same class. Welcome to the playoffs, Atlanta Hawks. But if your go-to is relying on CJ McCollum to take you home, you're not winning. That's just reality. That's not pom-poms. That's not homerism. That's just a reality. And the reason why I say I'm not satisfied is because I am looking beyond. Yes, respect to the Hawks, but I'm looking beyond. And so I want to see this team correct some of the things that I saw tonight and tighten up. Because we're trying to get to the promised land. We're getting serious here. We're not just happy to be here like the Hawks. We are getting serious. You see the jersey I'm rocking tonight?
Oh,
Captain.
Brunson.
My man, he was serious tonight. All right? You see how Cap set the tone?
Yep.
Came out firing, guns blazing. The threes was touching nothing but net. That's what I'm talking about. So Cap set a good tone. I liked that part. I liked the defense. I thought Wingstop's defense overall. Mikal Bridges on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I thought Josh Hart's defense on Jalen Johnson tonight was good. I thought OG came through tonight. So those are some of the things I had liked. And then, you know, if you fast forward into the fourth quarter, Deuce's 2 3-pointers was big in this one in getting him off of that playoff slump and just getting him into a good rhythm. I thought Clarkson came through and delivered when he needed to in the fourth quarter, and even Karl-Anthony Towns. I thought Karl-Anthony Towns, finally things started to come together for Karl-Anthony Towns in that fourth quarter where the Knicks were able to kind of extend the lead a little bit. But I just want to see him tighten up a little bit. I want to see him tighten up. You know, watching Towns struggle with the mismatches, you could see the physicality got to him. And it's just like, bro, like, what is this in front of you, man? This is food. Go out there and eat.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when Dyson Daniels is getting switched out on you, all right, maybe a little too far. Give it up, reset, go back to the block, and kill him. You understand? You know, I'm watching the fourth quarter. You know, Gabe Vincent is on him on a mismatch. Why are you passing it to Landry Shamet? And it's not even a good pass. It's not even in his shot pocket. So you're giving it up. You're giving it to Landry Shamet, who's got to chuck up a 3. I want the ball in your hands, not his hands. You understand? Like, it's those type of things. I don't want to sound like I'm spoiled because the Knicks did win. I'll take the win. Fine. All of that.
Yep.
But this series not about tonight. It's beyond that. We got to tighten up, man. We got to tighten up. But I'm satisfied with the win. You know, I'm okay with the win. What I'll say, satisfied? I'm okay with the win. That's all I'll say.
You sound like the rest of the calls what we've been getting tonight. You know, like what we were talking about earlier. It's like it's just not. It wasn't a clean game. It was not a clean game for this team.
Yeah. To me, there was a lot left out there, a lot of opportunity out there. With the second unit, we'll have to see, man.
You worried about dues or Shamet?
It's not necessarily worry. It's more about, again, the Knicks' biggest weakness, the biggest Achilles heel, the ball handling under pressure. The ball handling and playmaking under pressure. I saw a little too much of Deuce and Shamet handling the ball with that second unit the entire game. And I'm like, why are we parking Clarkson in the corner? That's the guy I want bringing the ball.
That's the guy.
That's the guy I want with the ball in his hands to play make for everybody else. He's got the most experience. He's the best player of that overall player in Clarkson. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, I was a little confused by that because I'm like, yo, in the regular season, when they went to that three-guard unit, it's 3 shooting guards at the end of the day, right? But from a playmaking point guard standpoint, Clarkson is the better one of the 3. So why are we parking him in the corner and watching Deuce struggle? Deuce's game between Mike Brown and Thibodeau, Deuce's game is not the point guard. It's not the point guard. And neither is Shamet. So it's like, bro, like, put these guys in their proper roles, or let me see what Grand Theft Alvarado is going to do. So I think that part is going to be interesting as the series goes on. Who's going to be able to play make for that unit? Because you want to get JB that extended rest. They were able to do so because they're playing the Hawks. But when you move on from this series and you go on, will it always be that way? You know what I'm saying, Omar? You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always like, I'm looking at all these little things, and I'm just like, all right, it works now because you're playing the Hawks. But when you go further down the road, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens on Monday, man. See what happens on Monday.
I think a big picture, right? Just like, who's waiting for you in round 2. I mean, we don't got to dance around it. Boston's waiting for you in round 2 more than likely. So if that's benching and hitting shots, what then, right? Where are you going to get the offense when Cat and JB on the bench and you got nobody making a shot, right? Against a team like Boston, who's been there, done that, has a lot of shooters. It's a valid concern. And I think sometimes we kind of like, we need to be happy to be here because of so many years before this. It was tough and difficult. But no, this is a team with championship aspirations. You gotta have that same expectation that they are, right? We've been talking about championship or bust throughout this whole year with this team. So now there's the playoffs. We gotta think beyond, like you said.
Yeah, so that's just where I'm at. That's just where I'm at. Like, I left that game. Throughout the game, we had our hype moments. I thought the Garden crowd was good. The intros are good. I thought the biggest pop was for Brunson for sure. You heard it, like that playoff pop. It was crazy. Like the Garden crowd went crazy on the intros for Brunson, and there was definitely moments where the crowd got into it. And then they were like moments where it's just like, the way they closed the first half. It's like, yo, come on, man. Like, I saw one play where he's taking a shot sitting on his ass. I said, bro, do y'all realize this is the playoffs? Like, what?
In his fairness, there was like 3 seconds left to go, and he was like, who's he going to pass to put up a shot?
Bro, Towns was right next to him. He was right behind him.
Now you're asking for impromptu stuff now. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Man, he's literally trying to take a layup sitting on his ass. But it's like the way they closed the first half, the decision-making was just a little clunky. And even with Towns, like, the passing was cool to start the game, but as the game progressed, like, bro, you're just not crisp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's one pass, even early in the game, there's one pass, like, he's passing to JB. He's trying to throw a no look. Like, bro, this is the playoffs. Look. Just look. It's okay to look. And just execute the pass. We don't got to get fancy. We're not the Harlem Globetrotters. Execute the pass, and let's score every we can't waste possessions in the playoffs, especially when you get further down the road. You cannot waste possessions. And I hope they take that away from tonight's game.
Yeah, I mean, that was like my biggest thing going into that preview, man. I said this tweet out today. It's like 2 things Knicks need to clean up: turnovers and the perimeter defense, especially at the break. Like those break, the above the break threes. It's like it's just too many. I know the Hawks didn't shoot well from downtown, but there's just too many looks. And if you're gonna give Jalen Johnson, McCollum, or Naw any wide open look, like they are gonna knock them down. And that's the playing with your food that you're talking about, though. That's the playing with your food. It's like, why are we doing no look passes? Why are we trying to be cute when we're trying to win something here? Like, we can't. There's no need for cuteness at this point. Throw that out the window. You can do that when you're up by 20, not when you're trying to create a lead. That's the issue, is that they were trying to create a lead and you're seeing like behind the back passes and all this stuff. And it's like, we don't need that right now.
Yeah. So, look, give credit to CJ. I thought CJ was fantastic tonight, especially setting a tone for the Hawks as their veteran with the most playoff experience. You could argue between him and Nikhil in terms of who has the most, who's gone deeper into the playoffs. But for CJ being the vet, I thought he was hitting some tough shots out there, man. He was really on the money. So you have to give him a lot of credit. I did like the defensive matchups in terms of putting Towns on Dyson Daniels, putting Josh with Jalen Johnson, and putting OG on Okongwu. I like that so far. And we'll just have to see, man. You know, like the reason why I just feel very confident with this Knicks team, especially in this series, is because you're just asking a lot in the playoffs, not the regular season. You're asking a lot offensively for those three, McCollum, Nikhil, and then Jalen Johnson, who he hasn't gotten it yet. He hasn't done it yet. Yeah, you're basically asking for him to be LeBron James in this series for the Hawks to really win this. You understand what I'm saying? It's not impossible, but is that the next level for him right now, or is it next year? Is it the year after that? You know, I don't know. And I'm not just judging it off of this game. I just don't think I just don't see it right now with this Hawks team. And then when you go to the bench, there's literally nothing there. Literally nothing.
Ricochet, like you're waiting for Ricochet to come out there and save you. Like that's why they're going so shallow to their bench.
That's why they're going so shallow. So, you know, the former Pacer big man, he was talking all that talk and logged 0 minutes tonight. What, my man Bradley? Yeah, you know, we got to get in their heads. We had that edge, but I was at the Pacers. My man, you didn't even play tonight.
Man's getting trying to get to the heads of the Knicks from the bench.
Did you log 1 minute tonight? So much for the mind games. He was in your warm-ups the whole time. So what are you talking about? So that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we worried about? Like with this Knicks team, man. Like, Cap is ready to kill. Carl hopefully will wake up. And, you know, I think it's the bench. The bench has to come through. But, you know, OG, what was the stat? When OG has 20 plus, they were 23-4 last year. Mm-hmm. And when he's averaging, what was it, like 18 points per game, 50% shooting in their wins. He was damn near close to that today. Mm-hmm. And I thought there were some opportunities for him out there. I thought he was getting hacked out there. They weren't calling much for OG. Mm-hmm. But we're fine, man. We're fine. Yeah. I'm good to go, man. No, I'm definitely good to go. You know,
I'm not worried about anything, man. This should be not. I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk, just because we've been talking about it all night, all season, whatever. It's like, can this team put it all together? Because we've seen the highs, as I said earlier in the show. We've seen the highs of like the Nuggets, the Celtics, where you give them BTA, and it's like, then you're like, you get a little too cute. Next thing you know, it's like we're in a game that we shouldn't really be in a game with, you know. So
yeah.
For them, just clean it up, because look, they're gonna go back to the Hawks are really trying to rely on Jonathan Kuminga. I'm just saying that out there. I know, like there's a lot of talk about Kuminga, and I'm like, oh, he could be an X factor. Then I'm like, all right, people, this man was barely trusted by a 4-time championship winning coach. Now you're gonna tell me he goes to the Atlanta Hawks and this guy's gonna be the ultimate X factor? All right, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're just asking for a lot. I'm not saying that they can't have like good games every now and again, but we're talking about a playoff series. It's different. Look at the game tonight. It's different. It's physical. No inches given. No respect given by the referees. It's different. This is when your big-time players have to make big-time plays. That's why Jalen Brunson is that guy. All that disrespect that they're talking about with this guy. 15 points, 17 points in the first quarter. Big-time players making big-time plays. You didn't even see Dyson Daniels out there. You didn't even know he was out there.
Who?
His biggest highlight was all the bricks he was throwing up out there. It wasn't defense. Yeah. So if Dyson Daniels can't help you, who is helping this Hawks team stop Jalen Brunson? CJ?
Buddy Hield?
Some Buddy Hield minutes in there.
You know what I mean? Where's Buddy? Yeah. Buddy Hield's on the team.
Yeah, he's on the bench.
Wait,
He's been out of the
he hurt?
rotation though.
Is he
No, he's
hurt?
been out of the rotation. Yeah.
They don't play
No, he's
Buddy?
out.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, he's a defensive liability. They don't want him out there.
That's crazy, man.
They got enough of those.
Yeah. But that, that's what I mean. It's like, I've never gone into a series really like just not giving an opponent all that much. Like I give him a little credit, but this Hawks team is like, the reason I'm doing it is because I don't think the Knicks are like your typical 3 seed, if you will.
Mhm.
I think they play to that.
Yeah.
By circumstance, but I don't think they're that based on who they have and how they're made up. I think they're better than that. That's why I give this team, that's why I said sweep on Dexter's show, and at the very least, at the very worst, a 5-game series. You're asking the Knicks to really have a bad games and bad series overall to even like be in trouble with this team. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think they'll have the bad games. I think what we're going to see, at least for one, is that the Hawks will just go crazy because the Knicks just fall asleep at the perimeter. And then you just allow Nikhil, CJ, those guys.
Nikhil's the one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's those guys who's going to have to go crazy from 3. And like, in my eyes, like that's why I said 5, because I could see that possibility. But if they play, if this team cleans up everything what we saw tonight, there's no way they shouldn't sweep this Hawks team.
No,
none. No way.
Shout out to Cedric Melbourne, man. $20 super chat. Says just got home from the game. The energy was bananas in the Garden tonight. Nice to get us a win, but I still saw a lot of errors and sloppy play. We have to lock in and clean up the mistakes, man. Nice seeing you, CP, and congrats again. Shout out to Cedric Melbourne. Shout out to him, man. We met a lot of people tonight, man. A lot of people, man. There's a lot of KFTV love in the building tonight, man.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you stopped at the watch party first, then you went to the game, then you went back to the watch party.
Stopped at
How's the watch party vibes before you got to the game?
What I hear was excellent. That's what we do. But we've been doing it for a long time, man. So like we know our watch parties are more like an experience. It's not like you going to the bar and you just, let me just get some wings and sit at the bar. No, we're an experience. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different lifestyle. So we get a lot of our regulars, our mellow mics. I don't want to name everybody now name, but we get a lot of our regulars there, and then we get a lot of the new people. And people know what to expect. Shout out to DJ Eric L Beats. He's throwing it down on the 1s and 2s. Shout out to MC Cedro. Cedro's on the 1s and 2s. We're doing raffles. We're doing giveaways. At Slate, you have a lot of games like ping pong. You have pool. You got bowling in there. So we just do it a little bit differently. We take it up a notch for the people, and everybody has a good time. So the watch party was good. Jumped in the cab, hit the Garden, jumped out because it was pandemonium with all the block parties and everything going on. So we walked like a block or so, and then went in there, boom, got to the seats. We do have some giveaways, right? We got some T-shirts and towels for the people, right? So maybe we'll do that tonight before the night is over. And just ran into mad people. Shout out to Jesus Nice. Ran into Jesus Nice in there.
Oh, nice.
He was in the rotunda. Yeah. Run into a ton of people, man. Ton of people. Yeah, it was a good time. It's definitely a good time, man. Who else we got super chat wise? We got right on time, a $100 super chat from my guy Jason Woke, man. Shout out to Jason. Says I pledge $100 for each playoff win moving forward in celebration of CP's wedding and the forthcoming Knicks championship. Let's go. Shout out to our guy Jason Woke, Al. Wow.
Shout out to Jason, bro.
Shout out to Jason Woke, man. Stand-up guy, man. Definitely appreciate him and appreciate his support. And looking forward to seeing him at one of these playoff games, man. Definitely looking forward to it. Shout out to our guy Jason Woke, man. Absolutely. Okay. Do we have any more callers? We got to hear from our guy, man. Let's get to the phones. Let's get to STG Nick for the Garden Report. STG, what's good?
What's good, guys? It was a good one there to go up 1-0. It was nice to have a game one at home that, for the most part, pretty easy. It wasn't too stressful. It didn't require a campaign carry to win it out. I thought we played, for the most part, pretty well. But like you guys were saying, I still think, there's some things to clean up on. I think the biggest thing for me a little bit was like OG. Thank God OG is okay. I saw that ankle roll and I said, uh-oh. But he came back in and he was solid.
Yeah, but you know what you know what it was for me? I said I didn't know if it was a hamstring or not. So I was like, when I seen him,
Yeah.
and then we were watching because we had a good vantage point on the bench, and we were just making sure he wasn't going to the back. He didn't go to the back, and then we were like, all right, cool. So as long as it wasn't a hamstring, ankle is fine. We just throw extra tape on it, that's fine. But as long as it wasn't a hamstring, I was good. You know what I mean, fellas?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure. I mean,
for
when
sure.
I walked away for a second, all I hear is OG, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
What in the world is happening? Can't go
For
to get
sure.
a drink or nothing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I also liked how, because it was only a 2-point game at halftime. I think they did a good job of featuring Towns more in that second half, running the offense through him a lot more. They got him going. Off the bench, it was a little surprised. Like Mitch only had 4 rebounds in 14 minutes. I thought he would eat a little bit more on the glass with Atlanta's lack of size. And also, obviously the captain set the tone, but I thought Mikal Bridges was good in that first, 5-6 minutes. He had 7 points in that
I
first
thought
quarter.
Macau was very aggressive, man. I rock with Macau heavy. I thought he was good tonight.
Yeah, no, definitely. Wish that aggressiveness stayed through the course of 48 minutes, but I thought he did a good job of playing, really strong early on, and I thought the defense was pretty good throughout the night. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good one. I like Clarkson's minutes too. In the limited 11 minutes Clarkson played, the 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting, that was good. I really like that. Yep.
And Al was talking about the fact that his 3-point shot hasn't been there. He's opting to just go for it, man. He's going to the rim.
Yes, I love it.
Cardiac is going to the rim, and he had some good finishes tonight. And like you said, Al, his shot creation under tough, stingy defenses, it's going to be needed with this unit, man. You're going to need those Clarkson minutes and live with it. Earlier it got a little dicey with the defense, whether you want to say the refs were a little bit tight with him or it just wasn't smart defense. I got to go back and look at it. But offensively, man, I love the way he was attacking with ferocity, man. It was really good to see.
Bro, the way that he played, I mean, you said it. Get him the rock. Get him the rock.
Got to get him the rock. Can't park him in the corner. You can't do that, man. You got to get Clarkson the rock, man, and use that veteran savvy to attack. He was good tonight, man.
Yep, definitely. I was also a little surprised to see Shamet play 6 more minutes. I thought Shamet, when he's not hitting shots, like 1 of 6 from overall, 1 of 5 from 3, and it was kind of tailing like that at the end of the season too. Landry's shot kind of went away, but if Clarkson's playing like this, I mean, he brings a lot.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Monday's a better night for Shamet. You just never know. You know what I'm saying, Omar? That's what you put him in there for.
Yeah, I think what he
Yeah,
gives you defensively, kind of keeps him out there sometimes. Like Al and I were talking about earlier, he had a couple good defensive possessions. So I feel like Brown was like, all right, I'm getting something there on that end. Maybe the shots will fall, So I'm personally not that worried about Shamet. I'm sure the shots will be falling next couple of games.
Yeah, I thought the final moments of his minutes in that fourth quarter, he had some good defensive stands. I don't remember if it was on Alexander Walker or maybe it was Alexander Walker. Yeah. I thought he had some good defensive stands there in those final moments of his minutes in the fourth. And so, maybe it's just a little rust coming out the break in the first game of the playoffs. But we'll see what happens on Monday. Yeah. STG, you there Monday, right?
Yes, sir. We'll be back in the building, and I'll be going down to Atlanta for Game 4 next Saturday.
Oh, you coming to 4? Yo, 4 is looking like a doozy, man. 4 is looking like a doozy, man. Stay tuned, bro. Stay tuned for the details on that.
Oh, awesome. Sounds good.
All right, sounds good. STG Nick on the Discord. Shout out to Larry Medina, $50 Super Chat franchise channel member says, congratulations on your marriage. Let's go, Knicks West Coast representative. Let's go, man. Shout out to Larry Medina, and shout out to our Left Coast Knicks family. If you guys are out there in California, in Los Angeles, or the LA metro area, 33 Taps in Silver Lake is where you want to go if you want to go to a watch party, if you want to be with a raucous, rabid group of Knicks fans. Trust me, I know from experience, it was a vibe out there. I can't wait to get back out there with those people. 33 Taps is the establishment in Silver Lake. There's number of locations. So Silver Lake is the location, and that's where our Left Coast Knicks meets up. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to those guys, man. Okay, who else we got here? James Baker, $5 super chat, says CP and the Knicks chick. Congrats on the wedding, Alex and Omar. 100, 100, 100. Big win tonight. Shout out to our guy, James Baker. Everybody in the chat, let's lift up our guy, James Baker, man, as he recovers from a situation that he's dealing with right now, man. So shout out to James Baker, and let's lift him up, man. Yeah, let's lift him up. Lift up one of our own. Shout out to our guy, James Baker, man. Sean Boy was in the building. He says, watch party was lit. Shout out to Sean Boy. Shout out to Sean Boy.
Speaking about the watch party, CB, did you hear Will from LI's call?
No, I didn't. I missed Will's call. Will was there. Will was early. Will came early. I saw Will earlier today, though.
He said he and Ari have a bet.
Okay. Ari pulled up. Ari was in the building. Yes, he was. Ari was definitely there.
Shout out to Ari. So here's the bet, and this is what we'll put it out there for everybody to know.
Okay.
If Macau scores 20 points or more, Ari has to call in with a positive Macau take.
I like that. Shout out to Will. I like that, man. That's good stuff. Yeah, shout out to Ari. Did mention that. He did mention that. He did mention that him and Will had a wager, but he didn't tell me what it was. So when I got back to the watch party after the game, I saw Ari there before we left, and he did tell me that him and Will from LI had something going on. So that's dope, man. Those are two of our original viewers, callers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, man. So I always appreciate those two guys. And then, of course, Ari shared a story about you, Al.
Okay, here we go again. What is this about? Basketball? Him playing basketball?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah, he shared his stories about you, man. Your history back in the day on the basketball court, man.
Okay, all right. Well, you played basketball with me, so we won a chip, so you know how I play.
Yeah. I didn't say anything one way or the other. I was just letting you know that he shared.
I know where it's going, man. I know where it goes. It's the same thing every single. All right, there we go.
Thing. He's telling me like I never heard it before. Like, Ari, I've been knowing you for almost 9 years. Yeah, I heard it already.
Bro, every time I get tagged in it, it's mentioned. All right, my man. We get it.
Shout out to Ari, man. Shout out to
Ari, man. Shout out to you,
back
Ari.
anytime. Shout out to Ari, wherever he's at. It's Saturday night. He's still out. He's still out partying. So it's Saturday night. Shout out to Ari, man. Okay. Let's get back to the phones, man. Let's get back to the phones, fellas. Let's hear from our guy, Grabba, on the Discord. Grabba, what's good, my G?
Yo, I'm in the spot.
Yes, sir.
First, before I get into anything, man, big salute, to Maria, to you, congrats, marriage, big thing, you know what I'm saying? For somebody I proposed, to my girl on New Year's, so I'm joining the club soon, man.
Well, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So,
congrats, man.
So big congrats to you, man. As a fellow married man, I just want to shout out to you and Maria. I gotta get on you though, CP.
What's up, man?
I gotta get on you, bro.
What happened, bro?
Hey, you be ducking me, bro. I'll be at the game. I'll be like, yo, where's CP at, bro?
What do you mean, bro?
You know what's crazy? I watched the video you put up on the gram when you was like doing a recap of the game.
Yeah.
And you pan into the crowd and the dude was on his shoulders. I'm literally like right in front of the dude on his shoulders, but on the other side, I'm like, yo, it's no way.
You was on the other side of the mosh pit.
Yeah, I was legit. I just got to the other side of the mosh pit because they literally had just put that kid on dude's shoulders.
Yeah,
right when he was doing that video. So the timing was
okay. Yeah, I'm on the outskirts of the hospital. I'm an older guy. I'm not a young whippersnapper, so I can't be, in the middle of. It's the first game of the first round, so I can't be in the midst of the joint. You know what I mean? Like later on, I'll get a little bit closer and closer inside, and then I'll ultimately be jumping up and down. But I was just in the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? I was just playing the cut, watching, and letting the young whippersnappers have their moment. You know what I'm saying?
I respect you. You gotta keep the joints intact. You know what I'm saying? Got to make sure you got. I respect you getting up there. You feel me? I'm getting up there. I'm a little bit behind you, but I still got a little bit left in me. You feel me? But shout out to you. Like I said, shout out to you, Maria. Shout out to Alex and Omar. Y'all been holding it down all night. So shout out to y'all. Right. But just good game. I think the way, I think Cat got that and one towards the end.
That was nice.
he got that N1 and we won by like 19. That was cool and all, but then like the focus, like you got to stay focused at that. You know what I'm saying? Like they let them run off like 11 straight, I think it was, and it's just like that could get real dicey against some other teams. Later in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta tighten up. Even like closing out in the fourth, man. You gotta tighten up. Tighten up, man.
It was good. It was beautiful. We went to the fourth. We was up by 9, and it looked like they were starting to get control. And Cat was hooping. I'm like, all right, this is what we've been waiting for all night. Shout out to dude. I forgot bro's name. Who was sitting next to me. He was from Florida. And we was talking about, he's like, damn, like this is what we've been, because we was talking, I ain't gonna lie, we was talking ish all night about Cat, like, damn, when Cat go, because you know me, I'm Cat. I'm like, damn, like, when my boy gonna get active, you feel me? And then he started hooping, and my boy's like, you see, like, he heard you. And then it's just like, damn, like, come on, like, just, I just wanted that cherry on top to really, like, just put an emphasis on tonight, you feel me? Because, like, it really turned into a good game, but, we got the dub. I just hope they clean a little bit of things up. And we gonna keep on rolling, man. 15 more dubs, you know what I'm saying? And we here, man. We active. We outside, you know what I'm saying? I was outside, I was in the mosh pit. I was with everybody. Knicks in 4, we was screaming it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm coming, man. Knicks in 4, man. We getting this done, man.
Let's go. Shout out to Grabba on the Discord. Yeah, everybody I think Alan, Omar, I think the vibes are kind of similar. It's like good win, but we know that there's just more on the bone. Like we just got to be better. We got to be better. Right?
To the big point that was made about when they ran off on that 11-0 run late, the Knicks on offense were just kind of like super conservative, just trying to bleed the clock, a bunch of bad shots.
Yeah.
And that's losing basketball at the end of the day, right? You don't want that. So, like, I get you want to run clock, that's you squeeze the 24, but you want to get a good shot at the same time. And it just felt like they just kind of parked it into neutral in that time, and then next thing you know, it's an 8-point game, and against better teams, that's how disasters happen. So
right.
So so that's something they got to tighten up. They got to be like, all right, and when we're in this situation trying to maintain the lead, how do we bleed the clock and get a good look? And they'll adjust to it. I'm not worried about it, but it's just something that we all need to flag, I think.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And for those of you at home, just to hit a reset. Number one, this is KnicksFanTV, the number one show for the fans by the fans, man. CP the franchise in the building. We got Alex Charles, the Tradcast in the building. We got KFTV Omar of the KFTV Newsletter. And if you guys have not signed up already, make sure you guys are signing up for the KFTV Newsletter, because there are a number of benefits. Number one, it's free to sign up. Number two, you're getting instant KFTV news, Knicks news, recaps, and great blog posts and articles straight to your inbox. And one of those is by a guy, KFTV Omar, man. Does a lot of great think pieces, at least on a weekly basis, and does a great job. You also got KFTV Remy's game recaps as well. And so we do a great job. And most recently, we did the KFTV Roundtable for round 1. So our guys, all of our writers, did a predictions post and also a scouting report post on the Atlanta Hawks. So you have Omar, you have Jeff, you have who else do we have on the that round table? Alex, you're on the round table.
No, you got
Jalen, Remy in there.
Remy,
Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah. So make sure you guys are signing up, man. These guys do a tremendous job. Just head over to KnicksFanTV.com, click on newsletter, and just drop your email in there. Like I said, man, it's all quality content. We're not spamming your mailbox with nothing crazy, no chain letters, no nothing like that. Quality Knicks talk and constructive conversations, man. But definitely make sure you check it out, because KFTV Omar does a great job on the newsletter. Okay. What else we got here? Let me shout out some more super chats. King David, $10 super chat, says, no cat, no rings. Oh, she has to slow down. Says, Dyson Daniels can't do anything with Brunson. He never could. Bridges was clean and controlled. Too many nut shots in this game. Love to see be the fan. Yeah. But JB was debilitated. Who else caught one? Mitch? Did Mitch catch one?
I think it was Deuce.
I think it was Deuce.
Caught one. Yeah.
Well, like, still, there was just too many, like, between injuries, and like, what is going on in this game, man? I felt like,
yeah. with
But,
JB.
for the captain, at least
whatever.
at least they gave CJ the technical on that. I was like,
Right.
bro, I was watching. I was like, that
Yeah.
is close to what Draymond did back
For sure.
for that Warriors Cavs series. I'm like, we can't be doing this. That's wild.
Absolutely. Shout out to Will Burton. Says, congrats once again. Hit me on the email where to forward the gift. Okay, cool. No doubt. No doubt. We'll definitely send you guys. We'll send you guys. Well, basically, we're at. If you want to just address any type of gifts, donations, whatever. KFTV Inc. P.O. Box 130, Oceanside, New York 11572. So feel free, man. Not a requirement. The requirement is just to watch, like, share, subscribe, man. That's it, man. Anything after that is all gravy. We definitely appreciate your support and keeping the machine going, man. That's how we keep it going. So shout out to everybody who wants to support. We definitely appreciate it. Okay, shout out to Timothy Dancer, fellas. Franchise channel member, $10 super chat. Says, congrats to Mr. and Mrs. Franchise on the nuptials. I want to give Mike Brown the name The Large Professor because he was the mad scientist, the way he kept a lot of schemes hidden until the playoffs. Yes, he did. Shout out to Large Pro. Shout out to Nas Escobar, of course. Absolutely, man. Omar, you laughed at that, man.
Hey, man. Anytime Large Professor's mentioned, I'm gonna be all for that.
That's a throwback mention. That's a throwback mention. Al's laughing. That's before his time, Omar. You know what I'm saying? That's me and your time. That's before Al's time. That's before your time.
That's fine. I don't act like I know something when I don't.
I know. That's why I rock with you, man. But you gotta do your Googles. Stay chiseled. Spotify, Alex.
I just looked them up. That's going to be added to my list now.
Large Pro. Salute, man. Who else we got in the chat? If you guys are new in the chat, shout us out. Type in #new. We'll shout you out, rather. And throw your cities, throw your country in the chat, man. Let us know where you guys are checking in from, man. Let us know where you guys are checking in from. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Okay.
Yo, CP.
Yeah.
Question for you, because Omar and I discussed it. What would you give a grade? Because people were giving grades for Mike Brown on his coaching performance tonight. Some people gave him an A, B+. Some were going as low as C-, which is we thought were crazy. But where would you go with Mike Brown?
I'll go B.
B? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say C. I'll go B. I'm wondering if he goes a little more double big. I wonder if he goes a little more double big in this series. Maybe he didn't want to do it tonight so as to not reveal everything. Because, again, in playoffs, you want to hold a couple things and see how things go and then, make your adjustments, make your tweaks as the series progresses. It could be a long series. Even if you win in 4 or 5 games, it's still long. So I'd say B.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say B. I'd say B, yeah.
Outside of that, the other question would be, what do you think about the Hack-A-Mitch?
Look, it's what every coach is going to go to on every night. They should. It's a strategy, right? You're trying to win by any means necessary. It is a strategy. Shout out to Mitch for going 1 for 2, at least in the first one. Second one, he missed both, right? But as I always say, it's the same thing that happened last year in Boston. That's still 2 fouls that you're giving up, 2 team fouls that you're just giving away. So what happened later on, then the Knicks got into the bonus, right? Later on.
Right.
That was the third quarter, I believe. Third quarter, right?
Yeah, it was.
So you're still 2 fouls closer to getting in the bonus, where if you put Mitch on the bench and you guys attack the rim or you're going back to Towns, you're still two fouls closer to the bonus. So, like, to me, it's fine. It is what it is. Like, it's a couple possessions where, all right, if Mitch is going to go 1 for 2 each one, ideally that's what you want to hope for. It's not a strategy what I mean is, bottom line, it's not a strategy where I have to, like, leave him on the bench and not play him. I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. Because a good offensive team that puts consistent pressure on the rim, you're going to force that other team to not go for it. And maybe that forces the Knicks to go to Mitch a little bit earlier. So what
get all the fouls early, you think? So just to kind of the issue with the Hawks too is, like, they're already depleted on the bigs, and they're having Gay kind of foul Mitch in these situations. It's like you're just giving this guy who is probably pretty crucial to guarding Towns down the stretch. 2 unnecessary fouls really
Right.
quickly. You know,
Right.
so that's the gamesmanship piece. Like if you're Snyder, you want to do that. Throw in Ricochet to do that for you, right? You can
Yeah.
his fouls are more useless. So
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they did that with one of the guys that was a quote unquote big. How tall is that guy anyway? Is Gay? Was he 6'9"?
6'9", 6'10", I think. Yeah.
He looked that way, so I was surprised. Even with the Bradley thing, I was surprised that he didn't even get in.
Amazon threw the camera on him a couple times just for the mention. So so he got a little bit of screen time at least, even if he didn't get on the court.
There you go. There you go.
Oh wow, Gay is actually 6'11", but he weighs 210.
6'11".
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
He just looks way smaller next to Mitch.
I think it's because his weight, man. Like you look at him, like 210 for 6'11" is that's razor thin.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yep. Go ahead, Al.
Never mind. No,
no. Go ahead. Finish. Good.
I was gonna say that with regards to like the whole Hack-A-Mitch, if you put him early in, like at the first or like third, and you get to the bonus, that's easy points right there.
That's what I mean. So, it's a strategy that you're going to use if you're desperate, because the Knicks are that good. But I don't really care. I don't really mind it, man. It doesn't really impact us like that. It certainly didn't last year, but we'll see. Maybe there comes a game or a series where it does. But to me, didn't really. But I also didn't think Block Ness or Big Country. I also didn't think he was that impactful on the boards like that. Like, give credit to the Hawks that way. I think they stacked the decks against Mitch and Towns, where they weren't as impactful on the boards. I am curious to see, is that a thing going forward in this series, right? Like, Knicks did win the rebounding battle by 5, but in, like, the heart of the game, Cat is single digits on the boards, and Mitch, I thought they did a good job just getting to those boards, and also like the 50-50 boards where it's like it gets tapped up and the Hawks ended up securing it. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out over the course of the series.
No offensive boards today for Mitchell Robinson, man.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. We'll see what happens on Monday. Let's shout out some of the new people and some of the city chats out and Omar. Shout out to Vince Wade 119 checking in, #new checking in from Queens. Shout out to my guy Isaiah, man. Isaiah, I see you in the building, man. Salute. Shout out to Bill Blast, says main source. He's talking to you, Omar. Main source, man.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else we got here? I said Vince Wade, team #new. Shout out to Wise Guy checking in from Las Vegas. Wise Guy, you pulling up to Summer League. I'm confirmed for Summer League again, sir. Shout out to Oz 47-7 checking in from Dallas. All right, so we got Texas in the building. Let me finish the #news, and then, Al, you can shout out the cities. Shout out to Emo Kima. Shout out to Emo Kima, team #new. All right, Al, go ahead and shout out to some of the city chats, man.
We got OG to God, who's here in Boston, and we got 2 people from Boston in this chat, man.
Beantown,
Flo,
okay.
Shout out to Flo. Both of you guys in Beantown, man. Salute. When we're in the next round, I'll be able to see you guys over at hopefully at Knicks Celtics, man, at TD Garden.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys. Let's see who else we got. We got what is this? We got the Wild Man from Australia. Shout out to you. We got Coach Rubens from Montreal, Canada. Appreciate you. Who else we got in here? We got Hard Jeezy from Fresno, California. Shout out to him. We got Chef Curtis from Harlem and Maywood, New Jersey. Did you shout out Sean Boy from Long Island?
No, I did not. Shout out to Sean, man. Shout out to Sean.
Sean Boy from Long Island, man. Let's go. We got Vince from Queens. Shout out to you. Yeah, man, that's what we got. Oh, hold on. We got you. Okay, now y'all decide to add. All right, let's go. The Shells from Matagorda County. We got Young Rich from Rochester. Shout out to you. Who else we got? We got Awesomeness from Brooklyn. There we go. Who else we got? Armin Duda from New Jersey. Shout out to you. Yeah, man. There we go.
All right, man. Shout out to everybody in here for sure. Monday night, we back at it. Listen, man, the KFTV content goes round the clock. As I talked about, the newsletter will be back on Sunday. My guy, Justin Morelli, who is outside with us today. Morelli's pulling up on Sunday. Then we got Monday, game 2. and then we're just going to go with it, man. Round the clock. You guys know what it is. Playoff coverage. We got you guys covered. So make sure you guys are tapping in to the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Well, we will also be at Slate again for Game 2 on Monday. So make sure you guys pull up to Slate, New York, 54 West 21st Street. We'll have the tickets available as early as probably tonight. So make sure you guys get your tickets to the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Okay. Let me make sure we got some more super chats in. Do we have any more calls we got to get to? No, just us. Okay, we'll wrap up with the supers. I want people enjoy their Sunday. Omar, are you saying something? Are we good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see who else we got here. I'm just making sure. Shout out to Malachi Goodrich, 3184 franchise Shamet, $10 super chat. Says, this is Maly. Screw all the expectations. Let's take it one game at a time and let's see what happens. Also, CP, when's the next watch party? Monday. Game 2. Well, we're doing watch parties every game. You know, when people ask when's the next watch party, the next watch party is whenever the next game is. You know where to find us, man. So we will drop. Sometimes we do change the venues, all right? Sometimes we do change the venues just based on availability. So Monday we'll be at Slate. Games 3 and 4. Look out for the notification because that's most likely going to change. But once I finalize everything out, we will put it out there so that you have good enough time and notice. Okay. Del Will 3770 $10 super chat says all of the Jordan Clarkson DMPs were load management. Legs look fresh now. Mike Brown playing chess.
That's a good one. Oh,
Can you imagine?
Well, hey, look, I would say on one hand, the Knicks' depth this year, you know, it was a benefit because when you look at the fact that, you know, Shamet going out with the shoulder early, Deuce going out, Kolick emerging, Diawara emerging. You know, you had the McCullough had a stretch for like a couple of games. So look, between the back end of the bench, the vetmans, the draft picks, the two-ways, everybody did their part in just helping the team keep it going and moving forward. And it did keep guys fresh, you know, whether you want to say it's by design or just, you know, by the nature of how the season goes. Hey, it is what it is, man. Bacardi had a good game tonight, man.
He did. But look, if we're, even with looking for this entire team and how everyone was fresh, I thought Brunson was moving quicker than usual today, man. You want to talk about getting guys rest? His first step was just insane. I was like,
springy, man.
It looked like the first time he came to the Knicks.
That 1 week off, Cap was springy. He was springy, man. So it looks good. He definitely looked good, for sure. All right, who else we got here? What's up? What's the night game? What's going on with the night game? What's the score?
Hawks Lakers. There's no KD, man. What do you?
What happened to KD, man?
Well, right now, final is Lakers won 107-98. There's no KD.
Lakers won.
Yeah.
Did Austin Reeves play?
No, he's out.
No Austin Reeves.
Lakers won with LeBron. LeBron led him.
27 for
with
Luke
19
Kennard.
points.
20 Luke Kennard. Oh my God! Wait a second. The Lakers won with no Austin Reeves and no Luka.
Nope.
Wow.
Forget the Rockets. Stick a fork in the Rockets, man. Stick a fork in them.
That's why everybody wanted to play him, man. You know, like
well, with no KD, that'll do it. But damn,
good Lord.
Yeah.
Whew, these are like goodness gracious.
Yo,
we're seeing some crazy minutes for the Rockets. Did you see this? Jabari Smith played 43 minutes as well as Amen Thompson.
43. Yo,
Amen and Jabari. Good Lord, man. Ime Udoka pulling out the Tibbs.
He's a war criminal, man.
So that's the word I was looking for. Ime is a war criminal. The first game he's got Jabari Smith playing 40 minutes. Wow, that's crazy.
Not gonna lie though.
Wait, what's up? Is Finney Smith? Did Finney Smith ever play this season?
I feel like I saw him earlier in the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what happened to Dorian Finney-Smith?
Wow. Yeah, parked on the bench.
No way.
Out of the rotation.
Yo, he's parked on the bench. DNP, coach's decision.
Wait a second. You opt to go with Jabari Smith for 43 minutes, and you want to tell me that Dorian Finney-Smith is no good to you whatsoever?
That is what
No. There's got to be some. There's got to be more to it. I got to do some research. There's gotta
they
be
said a DNP coach's decision right here. This man was cleared to play.
That's crazy.
You know what's also crazy? 42 minutes for Rui Hachimura tonight.
Yeah. Rui got to get busy. LeBron mandated that. Wow. So Lakers steal game 1. Okay. All right. Interesting.
LeBron with a calm, cool 19 points on 9 of 15 from the field, 13 assists, 8 boards, 2 steals, 1 block.
What's the deal with Luka? They said he was going to go to Germany. He was going to get the Kobe plasma, platelets, and all of that. What's the deal with that?
I think he's supposed to be ready by the second round or late in the series. So,
wow.
You get past the Rockets without him, then
interesting.
It changes the whole calculus.
That's what I was going to say. It changes it. Yeah. Yeah. So Hart Jeezy said Dorian Finney-Smith is at the end of the bench. Wow.
Crazy.
All right. Very interesting. And that was that was supposed to be a big loss for the Lakers, a big pickup for the Rockets, and he didn't play in the game against the two teams. Can't make it up. He didn't play in the game between the two teams. You cannot make it up.
As soon as Shams tweeted out saying Katie is missing game 1, I was like, I do not need to waste my time tonight.
Not at all. Shout out to my guy Chef Curtis West. Yeah, he was at the watch party tonight, man. Sends a super chat. Says thank you for making sure I had a great night. Absolutely, man. Shout out to Chef Curtis West, man. Big time supporter of the show. Shout out to Boom looking for this franchise channel member. Says CP the GOAT. Salute. Oh, did I get Timothy Dance? Oh, yeah, I did get that one. Okay. Boom says, just wanted to say I am Yeet Mitski, and thank you for the opportunity to call in. We all love and appreciate everything y'all do. Did Yeet Mitski call in earlier, Al? You took that call from Yeet Mitski?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I read that super chat. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Did we get Sun Doggy? We got Sun Doggy. We got all that?
Let's see. I read
we got all that,
Sun
right?
Yep.
Okay. I saw J Cal read up his membership. Shout out to J Cal. All right, so we pretty much good to go, man. Good to go. Any final notes? Any final anything? Alex,
1 of 15, guys. 1 of 15. That's
1 of 15. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. One of 15. Okay.
There you go. Just clean it up, man. Clean it up for the next game. Make it cleaner. Shows that you're still progressing in the right direction.
Yeah, that's it. And maybe it's just a little rust with the 1 week off. You're not really, in a rhythm yet. That's what we want to see, man.
Yep.
That's what we want to see. So there it is. Well, listen, people, great show. Remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format, so no reason to miss it. If you miss it on video, shout out to the Replay Gang. I met some Replay Gang members today, but also remember that these shows are available on the audio side. So, hey, we are everywhere you need us to be, man. Audio, video, social media, newsletter, email. Just tap in with us, man. #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Omar, great job. Al, great job as always, man. We'll see you guys on Monday. Oh, no, we'll see you guys Sunday. See you guys tomorrow. Morelli will be here, and then we'll see you guys Monday for Game 2. Great show, man. We out of here.